You're having a recent time.
Yeah, you're having
You're
the
having a
time
time.
that you have had currently.
There is a
Yeah.
time.
Out of all the times
There's
you've
a
had,
place.
this is one of them.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong.
Are we
Technically
live, chat?
correct is
Yeah.
the best kind of correct.
Okay. Hello, everyone. It's Friday
Joe,
on Defenders of Kobold.
Joe, your microphone's quiet.
Is it quiet?
You had to wait until he started to tell him
I
that?
just realized it. It's one of those things we're all
Is this
laughing.
better?
That is better.
So
Okay.
spicy.
My processing thing was turned off.
That's called your
Fixes
brain,
the
Joe.
game.
It's called sleeping.
That is also a thing. But yeah. Hello, everyone. It's Friday, and it's Defenders of Kobold. That means that we're playing Anvea, the game system that I'm making and dragging these wonderful people through. Yeah, it's been a good time. There might be a final session tonight, but you're also talented at not doing things like that. So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah,
We were trained by the best cats.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm allergic to cats.
So last time, you guys investigated Jasper's workshop, or the workshop that you later found out was Jasper's. You had ended their previous session. You found that there was a large mechanical ballerina that moved at an unsettling speed once they were detached from their little mechanical stand.
And now she's on the lamp.
And
Bye.
they wanted
It's a
to
great
leave,
song.
but they needed a replacement to take their spot, figuring that Jasper would be mad if something wasn't there on the post. Luckily, you had a extra member of your party, as Ivan Ooze had finished metamorphosing into Jake, as it got corrupt because Chuck fed it some ground corruption. And then you impaled him on the spike and kind of left him there.
Like
But it didn't
good
really
people.
matter anyways, because Chuck was scouting, saw Jasper,
Mm-hmm.
gave him a good old distraction kind of talk, filling him in on how you guys failed to free Percy and bring him back home as Jasper had wanted. But you did a good job of convincing him that it wasn't your fault. And you guys definitely were not the ones that lit a stick of dynamite and shoved it inside of Percy's box.
I would never.
I didn't
Never.
do that.
Nope.
Steven, thank you for the layaway bits. I'll add it to your total.
Then, as you were distracting him, everyone else prepped to ambush Jasper as he would come inside of his workshop, which you quickly did. He was hit by a cannon of just scrap parts. And you all shot him with some arrows, all sorts of things. And Quinlan did the finishing blow, slicing them up the middle. And that's kind of where we ended last time, with you guys just having fallen Jasper in his giant, not quite like centaurish, but it's a giant praying mantis with part of a human body sticking out of its chest a little bit.
I stabbed it.
And by like 20-foot tall mantis shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's where we ended. The other thing, you guys had previously also seen that there was a large obelisk. You're still looking for Herman. Quinlan especially is looking for Herman to send back to her town and have a leader in her stead. And yeah.
He was in Scout Patrol 4?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He was in Survey Team 4, who were sent out into the basin to just investigate random oddities and things. You know that he was tasked with surveying the mists and strange crustacean activity and getting near the obelisk if possible, collecting more information on it.
Oh, well,
You found a few other members of his survey team, I think, dead, but not him. Yeah, that's where we left off. You know the direction of the obelisk. See that the mists get much thicker too as it nears that obelisk. It is off pretty much straight east from where you're at. I guess I should move the party location. You guys are like right here.
We're off the map, Joe.
You are off the map.
We're off the grid.
Oh my gosh.
You are.
How will they track us out here?
Oh,
All right,
Return
that's
to
where
the
we pick up.
combat
You guys are in the workshop. You see Jasper's dead body, Quinlan's beside you all. I think when we ended, someone was wanting to try and rig up another explosive device to bring along as you went to the
Mm-hmm.
obelisk.
Yeah, they're trying to gather silver to basically strap around a stick of dynamite to try to do what Quinlan had originally tried to do. That was
that's
that
right,
was their
because it
plan.
was a special silver stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was
Not
supposed
just
to
a
be there.
regular stick of dynamite.
Magic dynamite.
Yeah. It's basically like a Mark silver bomb where usually silver is charged with magic energy to give it some properties. It retains it pretty well. But just kind of in passing knowledge from what you figured out, there's this kind of this tipping point where if it's got too much power invested into it, then it starts kind of going opposite and absorbing power and preventing it from working correctly. That's partially why Quinlan has not spread the blight, and the blight has like stopped spreading in hers because she has these like overcharged Mark bits of fragments from that bomb that went off and are in her, and they're kind of feeding off that blight, preventing it from spreading. But yeah, you were gonna search around for parts and things to see if you could build that.
I bet she
Who all
sparkles
is
in daylight just like a
working on
vampire.
this bomb?
I will help.
I'm good
Yeah.
at explosives, probably not.
Yeah, I'll say, I mean, there's a few different ways you can help. Like either looking for parts, looking for silver, the actual construction of it, whichever angle you kind of want to go on, or if there's anything else that you want to do that's not related to the bomb, up to you as well. But you're basically right now just inside of this massive workshop. There's all sorts of bits of random mechanical things that have been dragged in, lots of scrap metal and parts. Some of it might be silver. You haven't really looked through it super closely yet. Jasper was known to build some intricate things.
Are there a lot of like screws and nails here?
Yes, tons.
I will just start collecting a bunch of screws and nails. Then I will try to craft some silver screws and nails out of them using my transmutive materials advancement.
Okay. That works. I'll let you do that. Yeah, that would just be a crafting check.
I will. Why is it so low?
And then, are you doing this as a
As a cantrip, yeah.
You're doing this as the cantrip.
Yeah.
And you're
Shift
casting.
clicking.
Oh, I forgot. Skill. None, melee, observed, or none. Spellcraft, that's okay. I forgot that.
There you go. Oof.
Oh,
What contexts do you have?
I have occult, society, and religion.
Okay. This is technology and occult. So because we're out of combat, you could do the context reroll on this.
All right. I'll go ahead and
I'll check that box and then do a reroll.
That would be. I will.
The context reroll lets you like retry the entire text.
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah.
It's an extra benefit to having a context in something is when you're out of combat, once per session, you can retry that test if you share context with it. One
hey,
success.
there's a success.
We have push. There
Two
we go.
successes,
Three
but also
successes.
three.
2 damage.
Dang.
But yeah, 3 successes. So, and then what was your casting attribute?
Charisma.
Charisma. Okay, so yeah, you'll take 2 fortune damage from that.
Oh, only two. I don't know why I marked 3.
And not 2 charisma, but like fortune damage,
Right.
or peril, and just kind of pricking yourself or something on it as you're constructing it. Yeah, 3 successes is pretty good. You have successfully constructed this like IED with silver charged particles in it.
Cool.
Nice.
In
Very
that
cool.
case,
You
I
did.
would like to try to. I don't know if this would be Earth or Mara to try to evoke Maric energy from the silver or into the silver.
More.
Okay. I do have a rank in that now.
Okay.
So evoke. Oh my god. uh,
1 success.
oh, there we go.
Ooh, wow.
All right.
That's
Wow.
nice.
It's gonna be
6s
2
and
more
1s.
more of your fortune damage, but 4 successes
Yeah.
as you successfully overcharge and imbue your Maric power into this in a way that doesn't set it off immediately. This is a dangerous process, but you're getting the hang of it somehow.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Now all we need is an explosive to make it go boom.
Yeah, as you're doing this, Quinlan's like very at ease, or like very not at ease, very
Uncomfortable.
intense and very uncomfortable. And she's, but as you pull off that last spell, she just kind of like, oh, okay, looks
Hooray.
like it's working so far.
We did it.
Yeah,
God.
we're the best.
Doesn't she still have that stick of dynamite?
I think you guys have 1 stick of dynamite.
Yeah.
Just tape them together.
Yeah, just let's get a metal ball or like a spare ceramic face that's laying around.
No,
Fill it full
we
of
can-
Mark silver nails
we-
and a stick
we
of
can
You're able
dynamite.
to find
just Tavalone and just
Yeah. Oh yeah.
just web it up.
Perfect.
could do
as
that.
you look around for something like that, you do find a lot of what appear to be like porcelain kind of vases. They're all kind of head shaped, but there's a lot of them in various stages. Some are cracked, but some are like kind of freshly put together. You see impressions on certain sides that look like where eyes and mouths would be painted.
Not creepy.
About the size you're looking for.
Who all here is good at crafting in a non-magical fashion?
Oh, I can do it.
Please
Nope.
do. My
Sure.
fortune is almost depleted.
All right.
Yeah.
I will do some craft.
I want to say, like, with how much Jake did and the fact that you guys already have the explosive,
Yeah.
even if you fail this, like, it's still going to work. This is just kind of
Sure.
how quality it is.
I'll push it.
Okay. 1 success. There you go. So it's a little bit less jerry-rigged as you're just dropping the thing in there. There's actually like fuse, it's attached. You can carry it somewhat well. You'll be able to place it, light it. Yeah. You have a Maric silver bomb now. Anti-magic bomb.
Give
Hooray.
me the bomb.
Yes, you will be able to light it and get away from it as quickly as possible.
Yep.
I will set them up the bomb.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right. With that, is anyone else interested in anything else here while you're at the workshop? Is there anything else you're looking for?
I don't think we did a search for magical gizmos, but maybe it's not worth doing at this point in time.
Not so much. I mean, you guys kind of did as you were going through looking for scrap
Okay.
parts and things. You didn't really see anything that was like just laying out in a usable fashion. Most things
If
have been
there's
kind of
nothing
torn apart.
cool here, then we'll burn it to the ground when we leave.
I'm good
Well,
with that.
I was gonna kind of, if I had time, just see if I could find any, I don't know, spare gas masks or anything like that. We're gonna have to go through that mist, and there's no telling what it could be like. So
Oh yeah.
There's someone who's
Maybe we
sticking
can-
with their noodle.
maybe we could scavenge something up. I've got a gas mask, but I don't know what we could do for the rest of you.
I think
Yeah.
you guys have 2 in the party total.
Yeah.
I've got my shirt sleeve.
Because I know you
gotta
had
pee on
one,
it
and then
first.
Alex, his
Mhm.
character had one. Which
We'll
would have
pee
been
on
the
each other's
Yeah.
shirt
party.
sleeves.
Makes it
You
easier.
guys have had this a while since the Eastlock gang
Yeah.
ambushed you with gas. So
Yep.
yeah, give me a search. It'd be a find test,
Find.
you can find. especially because it's like a specific thing you're looking for.
What context? Technology?
Yep, technology or desolate.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't find nothing. Not surprising.
You're not able to.
I-
If someone else
I
wants
will-
to look, you could.
Yeah, I do. I will.
Look.
Because I have the context. Nailed it.
And if either of you have that context too, you can do your context reroll.
I
Ooh.
will. I will.
Jake is getting all of the 6s tonight.
Maybe I
Also,
don't
all the
need to.
ones.
Yeah.
Hey.
His dice are very polarized.
I
Okay.
would have had a success
Nailed
as
it.
well if I. So,
All right.
Yeah.
Say, Jake,
I meant to
were you
push
also
that, my
looking
bad.
for these gas
Yeah.
masks?
Hooray, I took damage.
Oh no.
Oof.
Yeah, 1 point of damage to your fortune, I believe, for that. And those 3 successes, you guys find 3 more gas masks. That is enough for everyone to have a mask going through these thicker
Nice.
mists.
We need
Hooray.
one for what's her face.
She doesn't need one
Um,
because she's cool.
She might be okay.
Okay.
You mentioned
She's
that.
got-
She's like, it's not a bad idea for you all to have it, but I'm pretty much, I've already got the worst that I'll get.
Would you think I'd be okay considering, my bird arm and my leg?
What if it makes you more something else?
You could turn into Birdman.
Birdman.
As she's looking at you, just
What if
like,
his
you
name's
are corrupted for sure, but not as much blighted.
Oh, okay. There's a difference.
Yes. Blight is a very specific kind of corruption from very, very specific sources. So you're more just markedly corrupted with
Okay.
your puffin arm.
Okay.
Should we leave
well
the animal
on your
cart
way.
here?
I was thinking about doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't burn it to the ground then.
Yeah, let's let the animals stay here where it's safe.
Then
Yeah.
once they've put fertilizer all over the place, we'll burn it to the ground on our way out.
Yeah.
Make sure they got lots of feed.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing the prep work for us. I get it
Exactly.
now.
This workshop is big enough to be able to pull your entire cart inside of it.
Oh, handy.
Kind of leave it out of the
Nice.
elements because Jasper was bigger than your cart. So
He was a large lad.
Have we
was.
lit him on fire yet?
No.
you have not. His corpse is just kind of sitting there.
We sh-
Well, let's see if Michael J. Ox can drag him out.
Okay.
And then we'll get some drums of chemicals and stuff and soak him and
Spend some time trying to dissolve his
well,
body
no,
and
just putting flammable fluids on him and then flammabling him and then barbecue.
okay.
Broiled shrimp.
Yeah. Blight shrimp.
I don't plan to eat it.
Shrimp flambe.
I
I
don't
just
either.
want to make sure he's very dead.
Yeah.
Baby back shrimp.
Ooh. These shrimp, they got backs.
They don't
Yeah.
have ribs though.
Well,
This is how bubblegum
he
shrimp
didn't
got
say
started.
baby
Right.
back ribs. He said baby back shrimp. Ew, that's just the poo line.
Oh no.
There's some very strange biology of the morphed human into this oversized mantis shrimp.
Like
It's
I said,
also
burn
severely
it.
blighted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say you guys can spend some time. Probably takes about 2 hours to get it dragged out. And there's various oils and things around the shop that he's been using for his mechanical creations. So eventually you're able to scrounge enough of it together to set his whole corpse on fire.
Okay. Cool.
Is there any extra of that oil that we could
Yeah,
put
there
in, like,
is.
a glass bottle?
Yeah. I'd
Okay.
say there's enough for that.
All right. Making
It'll
me a
smell
little...
delicious for the rest of the adventure.
Mhm.
Well, I wanted to use it more as like a, improvised slip and slide, but sure. Yeah.
I was just thinking of the cooking shrimp,
Yeah. No, that's fair.
for
That's
the
all.
rest of the
Yeah,
adventure.
it's definitely closer to like mechanical, like oil, than it is like lighter lantern oil. It's a little bit thicker. Alrighty. Guys, do that. Is there anything else you're doing while you're at this workshop?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I forget. I think you guys had stayed the night in the workshop
Yeah.
already.
What?
Yeah.
I think you guys had your lawn rest already. So with
Oh,
this, it was pretty much with the time you spent on Jasper and building the bomb. It's probably about midday.
did we do
as
long
we
rest?
say now.
Because I'm still at 0 physical.
That after fighting Jasper?
Well, you did fight Jasper. He
Mhm.
did hit you with the
Yeah.
claw.
Okay.
So that's a question. If you guys want to rest another night here, midday,
I would vote.
you get the
for it.
sense that
Oh.
from how far away the obelisk was, you kind of know how big it is based on the vision that you've had. It'd probably take about half a day to get there. So you'd be getting there like at nighttime if you left right now.
Not
Let's-
ideal.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
stay the night,
No.
leave at sunrise, get there, blow it up, make it back here shortly after dark.
Okay.
Have our shrimp barbecue
Mhm.
ready for us by the time we get back.
Long rest.
All right. Yeah, everyone do your long rest.
For attributes, how do those come back?
You get 1 point of attribute damage recovered per night. Not per attribute, but like one point that you can put in any attribute that is missing. The only way to recover more is if you're like staying with a healer or something in town, or if you're investing resources into it, or if you have the advancement that lets you also recover 1 luck in addition.
What's the reset for fatigue and corruption with a night rest?
Fatigue should go down to whatever your total number of lingering or like conditions that are still affecting you are. So if you have no conditions, then your fatigue resets to 0. If you have 1, it'll be at 1.
Okay.
And then corruption goes down by 1 point every day.
Okay. Cool. 1 fatigue, 2 corruption.
Is that from drinking the soup?
And breathe in
Yep.
the dust.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I think Chuck and John are the only ones that should have corruption still.
Yeah.
That darn ground soup.
Right?
Everyone else is
It wasn't the ground soup that did me in. It was the dust.
Yep.
And being in the area with all the corruption.
Yeah. And Jasper hit you with a spell.
Oh, yeah, he did that too.
What a jerk.
What a jerk.
Rolled very low on,
Yes.
but oh well.
Yeah.
So next day passes by. 2 things that you notice as you wake up. You're kind of like rustling of some of the parts. You see some of the piles are in kind of different places. You just see this trail of metallic, very small parts that have been kind of littered around. And they go to like a small little hole that's kind of in the side of the wall. And as you follow that, you see leaving the shop is this long line, kind of like ants. They're small little crustaceans that are all each carrying little tiny bits of metal, each like edged pieces of metal.
How many?
A long line. You don't see the start of it, but from what you can see before it disappears in the mist, it looks like maybe 15, 20, these little tiny crustaceans. They're like small crabs, lobsters.
I really feel like we
hermit
shouldn't
crabs.
leave that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that thing where you kick it around, spray a little soap down, close up the hole, put out a taro trap.
Yeah.
Just like ants in my kitchen.
I'm just going to run out in the desert and I'm just going to start stomping down the line.
Okay.
Super Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get those Goombas.
you do so. How long do you spend doing that?
Not long, like maybe after like 5 minutes.
Until you reach the start of the line.
Yeah, if I don't
You
feel
don't
like,
reach the start of the line after 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't
There's
wanna-
kind of like little pockets of like,
yeah,
maybe 5 to 15 here and there, and then you'll kind of see like trails of have been ones going past that, but you
No.
don't get the sense you've made it to the start of the line. But you've definitely crushed a decent number.
yeah,
They don't really offer any resistance either. They seem to be kind of droning.
yeah. I would
Is the-
imagine Jasper's probably got them bringing shit to another location.
Yeah, I have to fight Robot Jasper.
Yeah, we
Ah,
are.
jeez.
Only other thing that you see that's
Back Jasper.
noteworthy is Jasper's corpse is very strange now it's stopped burning. It looks like the corpse of a giant like mammal. You see a massive like rib cage on the inside of it that shrimp don't really have.
Okay.
It's got a lot more
I like it.
bones in it than you would expect.
'Cause
I
shrimp
like it
don't-
even less.
They don't have bones on the inside.
Nope. It's got kind of weird plates too, where like not quite like a deer skull, but a little bit almost in the shape of like the mantis head.
It's probably worth it to like study the skeleton, so in case we have to fight another one of them, we know where his soft spots are.
Sure, I'll say you're able to look over it. But definitely something you notice because it was kind of burning still as you guys went to bed.
What direction are the little crabs headed in?
East.
Is
Towards
that
the direction of the obelisk.
That,
Oh.
see, that's right.
Ah,
Well, like
They're going
we
that
can
way
just we can stop it all the way to the end
Yeah.
of the line.
the road snacks. When we get hungry,
Yeah.
just pick one up.
And just
I don't think we should eat them.
Yeah, Quinlan would say, I don't recommend eating anything else from here.
I mean, I wasn't going to, but
Me either.
Chuck could.
A Rudigar.
Probably.
I didn't think I had to say it verbally last time, but I am this time.
I'm just
There may be
curious.
shrimp, but they're not edible.
Just like what do we not do? That's right. Taste the blood of the earth.
Just like I tell my daughter all the time, don't put it
Still
in your
probably
mouth.
not the weirdest thing that's been eaten in one of my campaigns.
no,
yeah, sure.
it's not, and it
I
won't be
think
the last.
Jake's investigating vomit is probably up there as the strangest consumption that's happened. But
You know, you got to check it for poison somehow.
You do.
Sure. Yeah. I get it.
yep, it was good
Ah,
times.
It was one of
Yeah.
the ways it could be done.
I was still chuckled at your blue screen of death when you were trying to figure out how to describe the flavor.
You rolled too well for me to like. You're trying to advance the plot, and you rolled really well. It's just not at all the way that I thought you were going to. Yeah, yeah, good times.
It tasted like
I mean, the real answer always is it tastes like hot dogs and orange juice. Oh, it's poison. There's a faint hint of almond in there.
Yeah,
hot dogs and orange juice.
yeah,
So we had East, right?
We had East.
yeah. You had
Yeah.
Yeah, we're heading east. Where the hot dogs and orange juice flow.
Oh, God.
Is that a baseball mimosa or something?
Oh,
no.
copyright Defenders of Cobalt. Oh, April
Made
ran
April
away.
sick.
Oh no. Yeah, you guys start heading out. You leave your cart behind with the animals, and you set out on foot.
Don't
heading
be
east.
evil when we come back.
You run into more strange plant life and things that seem like they're in this weird in between stone, but it's like kind of fleshy. It's got these weird porous bits to it. It's like in the shape of things that may have been there before, but has been overgrown by this flesh rock stuff. Travel on through. Fog. It's getting thicker and thicker. After a few hours, you see the first thing that kind of stands out to you, which is a small tent that's tucked away next to kind of a sharp rock face that's jutting out of the ground. Looks
yeah.
like
already have my mask down.
Oh yeah, masks on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Social distancing.
Mm.
And I forgot to mention the masks you find are all Eastlock masks. They look
Yeah.
like they're from people that had been scavenged and brought back somehow to Jasper's workshop. Didn't find the rest of wherever those Eastlock people went, but you did find some random Eastlock stuff like that.
I
Yeah.
imagine there were a few set up on a ballerina pole.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
some bases for some constructions.
Bits
knows?
of, I think, air dried beef jerky here on the edges of this mask. And
Oh no.
Yeah,
Delicious.
yeah. You see this tent; it's blowing in the wind a little bit. Looks to be closed, and you see it looks like something has either been dragged into it or out of it. You just see this like long kind of winding, dragging thing
Yeah.
in the sand. There's like this kind of light sand over the ground.
Well, I guess it. Go ahead.
I was gonna go look in the tent.
I was going to say the easiest way to tell if there's something in or out of it is to look in it. So
We're on it.
I was going to stay out here and be like, hello.
Well, you call hello
Okay.
in a car, and I will go look in the tent.
Okay.
Oh,
If
hello
there's
in
danger,
there.
give us the signal.
Yeah. How are you wanting to coordinate this? Are you wanting to call
Like
out
this?
pretty early as they're
Yes.
moving up or around, or
I'll wait for them to kind of get out of sight of it, like if someone were to come out the front, and then I'll just be like, hello.
yeah, call out? There's a little bit of wind, but you still feel like your voice carried far enough. You don't hear a response.
I'll call it louder. Hello in the tent. Anyone?
Moment passes, and you see something kind of like brush up against the inside of the tent as if something's moving inside of it. This is like a pretty low tent, so imagine if someone was inside moving, they would kind of brush into it, but you do see like kind of this lump poke into it for a bit, but then stops moving. You don't hear any response.
I see you moving in there. You gonna come out or say something? Anything?
Moment goes by. You see a blade pop or like poke through the side of the tent just a little bit. A small fold.
it's an unusual way to get out of a tent.
It is. It is. I mean, it'll
When you gotta
Poke
pee,
up
you
the
gotta
side.
pee,
It's
right?
poked into the direction that you were calling from, John.
See, you don't wish to be disturbed. That is unfortunate. I am here to spread the word of. I look at Al. What's the name of your god?
What is the name of my god? Daedriel.
Daedriel. Yes, we're here to spread the good word of Daedriel. Now look at the others, and I'm like,
They call us the dangerous witnesses.
Okay.
Moment goes by. You see the flaps of the tent open up. The cloaked figure crawls out and stands up. They pull their hood back a little bit. And it's a familiar face.
oh,
although a bit smaller than maybe the last time you saw them.
Is it Percy?
Appears to be a leshy.
Oh, I was gonna say, is it still Jake again?
Oh
God,
God.
Jake. It's another Jake. Oops, all Jakes.
Get the ballerina.
Yeah, you don't know
pulse.
how many times I have an ooze split apart.
That's right.
Right.
But no, you see a leshy. They appear to be a moon lotus leshy,
Are
much
those
smaller.
the ones
I thought
blew
we
up?
killed all of your kind in a session I wasn't
There was
in.
only one moon lotus leshy. The rest were kind of these weird lichen.
Oh.
So yes, all
Here.
of them.
You hear her talk again. Well, what are the chances I would run into you all again? She's got several like burn marks kind of on parts of her cloak and parts of the leaves. And there's like a few strange like black lines in some of her petals as well.
Again?
Oh,
And you see
somebody's
too that
got
like
some,
her she's humanoid shaped in the sense like she's got arms, but it looks like as she's moving, she doesn't really have feet. It's just kind of these branches that are shambling underneath her, like roots.
I'm gonna.
So,
Here for more destruction.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Not another bomb you're
Kinda.
carrying.
Well, and I point at the obelisk, but that
You're not able to see the obelisk,
okay.
but like you know the direction, but you point in that direction.
We're gonna go blow up the big pointy building.
That is a direction I'm also feeling called to.
Blow
is
up?
this a friendly calling or more like a you're gonna sing madness at the world sort of calling?
More of a, it was the root of my problems, and now that I have no people to look after anymore, I might as well go deal with it.
And we helped?
That's
Oh,
a way to
no,
put
we
that.
didn't.
That is a way to interpret what happened. But if you'll excuse me, I'm tending to someone. And she ducks back down into the tent.
Who are
You
you
hear a
tending to?
cough come from inside.
Is it Herman?
Yes. Yeah. Let's go check and see if it's Herman.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Walk over, open one of the flaps. You don't really know what Herman looks like, but you do recognize the blighted villager type of look of people. And you do see a man that looks to be blighted, not wearing East Lot Company clothes. He does have like a satchel on that's, or beside him, wouldn't be on, I guess. His clothes are kind of pulled back. He has a big wound gash like on his chest. He's got some labored breathing.
This
Weird
is
kind
an
of, like,
opportunity
dark
for a car,
liquid that's dried around him.
maybe.
You see lots of these moon lotus petals have kind of been sprawled about on the inside of this tent. I found him 2 days ago, or about a day ago now, I guess. Time's funny out here. He was going to investigate the obelisk, was on his way back, collapsed, and been trying to nurse him back to health.
I ask what's her face if this is what's his face.
Quinlan
Quinlan,
runs
if this
over.
is Herman.
She's like, what happened? Herman! She runs up, kneels beside him. He kind of lets out he says like it looks like his mouth's about to move and say something. He coughs and then it's kind of this gurgling, more of this kind of darkened liquid comes out. Looks like a mix of like blood
Don't one of you have some healing magic?
stuff.
I think.
Yeah, Car, could you heal the crap out of this guy like you did with the dude with the no face?
I could sure try it, but no promises.
All right.
You got this.
3 successes.
Go for it.
Is 3 successes good enough?
3 successes is fantastic.
Or is
4
4
successes
good
is even
enough?
better.
Yay!
Nice.
Worth it.
nice.
All right. With that, so you're
Physical is
going
my
up.
healing skill, so I'm like, feel better. Feel better.
All right.
I
love it.
assume.
You just shake
You
him by the
aggressively
shoulders.
heal him.
Be
Yes.
healed.
Yeah, one of those like faith healers.
The power of a car compels you. Ah.
One of those aggressive like chiropractic videos.
Yeah. I imagine it's more like the mega church healers.
Yeah. All right. You smack some healing into him. You see his wounds start to close, and he coughs again, and it doesn't sound as labored. Doesn't sound like he's choking on quite as much anymore. He starts breathing again. There's a little bit of a wheezing at first, but then kind of catches his breath. He's, oh, I feel so much better. And then he rolls over to his side, starts breathing again, and sits up. Thank you, friend. Puts an arm on you, Dan.
Yes. You.
Leshy turns to you and says, well, I wasn't able to mend him quite the way I was your friend earlier, but I was doing what I could with just mundane medicine. I'm much weaker out here, but especially working on a blighted person, but I appreciate this. Quidlin starts saying a million things like, what happened? How are you out here? Is there anyone else with you? Or any of the others in Survey Team 4? Like, she's just blasting questions at him. And he's very kind of dazed and out of it. And he's said yes, no, it, like out of time with trying to answer. She's pretty worked up.
Like, let's give him a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
Out
second.
of intent.
You guys step back and you hear chatter between them. He's slowly getting himself back. He's getting his he's waking up more and more. The fog seems to be kind of leaving him. Catches his breath. He talks about how he was in the survey team. He was sent out. And the important information that you would overhear as you're listening is he talks about seeing strange crustaceans almost in like an ant trail that were bringing small edged metal pieces, prying pieces. And they were kind of collecting around the area of the obelisk. The other thing, though, that they mentioned that was concerning and what he lost most of his team to is that at the obelisk, there are a few creatures that are acting strangely. He's not sure if they are worshiping it or if they are competing for something, but there's 3 massive creatures that are in sort of a stalemate with each other. This is one is a massive elk sort of looking thing. It's got these multiple sets of antlers on its head and its large burly coat. Multiple sets of eyes on its head.
No thanks.
The other is a massive shrimp, mantis shrimp of some kind.
Not anymore.
Maybe it's dead now.
He says,
Oh,
I swore
dang.
there was
The
like
lollygaggers.
Lollygaggers, thank you for
humanoid
that
features
raid.
to them. Hey, lollygaggers. And the third was like a large badger of some kind.
Oh no,
Massive.
not
Oh,
a badger.
no.
There he is.
It all comes around.
But
Probably our fault
we-
somehow, too.
we
Wait,
approached
I'm
it.
sorry. Could you repeat that? Because I was looking at something and didn't hear what you said.
That it's
About a
our fault
badger?
about
There's a massive
badgers.
elk. There's a massive mantis shrimp.
Uh-huh.
And there's a massive badger.
Okay, I missed the badger. Okay.
I thought you were asking about how it's our fault, because I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
It, definitely.
If not this party's fault, the previous party's fault.
Potentially. He talks about it. He says, "Yeah, there's these. We didn't see them at first. They're not always there. They seem to be kind of roaming, and eventually they'll kind of converge and get closer to the obelisk and stare each other down." The rest of my team thought they were guardians or something, but I get the sense that they're competing, and the fact that there's three of them has them at a stalemate. They're worried if two of them go at it, the third will
Well,
turn the tie.
we definitely screwed that up because we killed the shrimp.
Pretty sure.
What?
Well, maybe.
Pretty sure.
How many giant mantis shrimps wandering around this area can there be?
I don't know. Why are there crustaceans in a relatively arid land?
I don't know. But yeah, we killed the shrimp.
We killed the big shrimp.
Pretty sure. Like 99% sure.
Yeah. Cat,
But not
thanks
like a
for the
jumbo
sub,
shrimp,
and
but
Bert,
like bigger
how's it
than a
going?
jumbo shrimp.
Yep.
Yeah, imagine the popcorn shrimp we could have made from him.
Right?
Would have been one big popcorn.
Several, even.
How big would that pot be to fry that?
Pretty
I
big.
mean, the biggest.
Yeah.
Perhaps we fill in the whole trench that they've been digging with blazing hot oil, and we dip them in it.
Not quite that big, but like a swimming pool, maybe.
Just saying, we could have used the trench for something useful.
Do we have any melted butter that we could threaten them with? If anybody
It's
gets
gonna
that
take a lot of
reference,
butter.
Congratulations on being old.
I could transmute any fluid into milk and churn it into butter.
There we go.
Now we're talking.
We've got this figured out.
We can just strap it to the wagon wheels and let the rotation churn the butter for us.
Oh my god, that's brilliant.
It's genius.
That's the new business, right? We're just going to get a car and do that.
We're just
A
making butter.
traveling petting
Yeah.
zoo and
That's what we're gonna do with all that animal feed.
Butter
Yeah.
churning.
Yes, we're the Amish.
Yeah.
We're innovative Amish.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that works, but sure.
I apologize to the Amish for almost certainly offending them.
I apologize to all of our Amish and Mennonite
I don't think they
viewers.
watch Twitch streams, so I think it's okay.
I was just
Perhaps
thinking,
not.
like, I'm sure they can, because, like,
Mhm.
my grandparents lived in a very small town, and there was a yearly, like, festival, and they, like, had this, like, fucking ice cream maker that hooked up to the back of the goddamn tractor and, like, made ice cream. Most expensive ice cream maker in the world. But
There are some secret Amish phones. I hear stories every so often whenever there's like one of those nuclear alerts, like the Florida one that went off or the Hawaii one. A lot of Amish people's phones go off that they're not supposed to have,
Oh,
and they
no.
get in trouble.
Oh no, the Amber Alerts alerted them of having phones.
It's pretty funny and sad, but I find it.
It was being brought up in the chat even.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Stephen grew
Oh,
up
yeah.
in Amish
That's
country.
great. Yeah, it's funny. I've seen stories of that. But anyways,
Don't tell them
Okay.
about my butter churning idea unless they're going to pay me for it.
Right. Yeah.
as you are explaining that you may have killed one of these three in the standoff,
Yeah.
Herman kind of stares past. He's like, "Well, I don't really know what it would mean. We didn't study their behavior, but a few broke off. Badger, especially, was not too kind, and I made it
Okay.
away, but the others did not. And I collapsed. I woke up in this tent, and this lovely flashy lady has been taking care of me ever since."
Thank goodness I came here to slap some healing into you.
Mm-hmm.
Flex heal.
Flex seal.
Let's heal.
All right.
I sawed this man in half.
God.
Just slap some flex heal on that. Good to go.
Oh my gosh, that is genius.
All good.
Capitalist kill Eric strikes again.
With this, Quinlan speaks up. She's like, "Well, you've done more than enough. The village needs you. I don't know if I'll be back. And you have to get out of here while you're still good. Seems your health's returned." Kind of nods. We lost a lot, but hopefully the people will be back.
Yeah.
I do know that we're having some problems with the Leshy that were in the mines, but I'll tell them all about this moon lotus that saved my life, and perhaps we can work on mending things.
Yeah, that'll work out great.
Yep. Super
Talk
duper.
to get it out right now.
The moon lotus lady just kind of just doesn't say anything. Just stone faces and nods.
How about you both go and you have a good old talk on your way back to town?
And you leave all the blowing stuff up to people who know how to do that.
You should see our
You say
resume.
that they should both head back, and she kind of ponders
Miss
that.
Moon Lotus, is there any way to not necessarily bring the individuals back, but the people themselves?
By people, you mean the Leshy that were?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Were
like
you the only
if you
Leshies?
take cuttings of yourself, do they grow into new ones?
We could just ask
Sheets?
Jairus this.
It may have been my idea, but I don't know a lot about them.
If you're asking if they will return, the ones that perished in the explosion will not, but others in their place may.
Okay.
I'm the only one that survived, as I was a little bit more equipped to deal with such trauma. Most of my body was burnt and destroyed, but what remained is reformed into what you see here.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, this was awkward. You two are great to head back. We're gonna go do the thing.
My plan was not to head back. It was to see through the light of my people and contribute in any way I can to ruining and ridding this from the land.
We got it.
We got it.
We've already done
Probably.
this once
Go.
before.
Go lead your people. They probably need you now more than ever.
Kind of looks down at that. Let's say if anyone wants to do like a persuasion or something kind of roll to change her mind. She seems set on it, but
Does she know that we have a silly bomb?
She does. She mentioned that she saw that you guys have another explosive.
Look.
Because of course we do.
Janky spider web with a face and a wick coming out of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah, compel. Sorry, not persuade.
There's only a small chance it'll stick to my hands when I go to put it down.
And anyone good at compel?
I got a lot of dice.
Check out one success.
I could just order her to come back. I don't think that would be too nice.
I will say, Chuck, you're not getting the sense that she's like, one success feels like it'll be enough.
All right, I was gonna roll my 2 dice.
You guys have talked to her a little bit, and you're all saying that she should head back. And she felt like she was the only one going out here to deal with this. Now that she sees a lot of you going out,
I just want to say they add up to a 6.
If only that's how it worked. But yeah, no, with what you guys were saying and the fact that you kind of nursed Herman back up and he's wanting to go back, and you say that she should probably go back as well. She says, I think that is the right call. And
No, should we warn them? Well, no, he's probably dead.
About who?
The seashell collector.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's not a problem anymore.
That's where our other stick of dynamite went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was I think it was
Hey,
just
you'll never
powder
guess what
bomb,
happened to that guy.
Yeah.
We blew him up.
Yeah. That probably happened.
Probably sounds not
checks.
convincing enough.
Yeah, with that, you guys are able to convince her, and she speaks with Herman, starts kind of gathering things. So I think it is best that we head back. Your people need you. I can help you navigate back. Hopefully, you are all successful in clearing this blight, and maybe that'll help things ease in the future. Won't have to struggle to set up shop somewhere.
Oh, if you pass by our petting zoo, like throw some more feed out for him.
I
Did you say
will
meat?
Feed.
feed.
Okay.
Feed. If they're not already dead or evil.
Oh, either one of
You
those
left
is
a
an
cart of
option.
animals out here.
Well,
And-
were we supposed to bring them with us to blow
Yeah,
up the
we
obelisk?
found
How
this
about
safe place.
We have them take them back to the village and we'll meet them there. At least that way they'll be cared for if we happen to die and not make it back.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
And they could ride in the
There's-
cart.
There's thinking with your noodle.
They definitely seem to like that idea, and you're able to describe where the workshop is and kind of point them.
Directly west.
Yeah.
Follow the trail of dead crustaceans that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, and actually, like pointing out the trail of crustaceans does lead them straight to the workshop, so they absolutely have a path there.
Yeah, the very last crustacean you'll see is a giant humanoid mantis shrimp burned to the bones that it shouldn't have.
Yeah.
We won't spend too long there.
No.
Yeah.
I would recommend it. If any ballerinas talk to you, tell them that they're doing good. To have a nice
Mhm.
day.
Tell them there's a music box back at the workshop and then get the hell out of there.
Oh, and be on the lookout for a mannequin or ballerina dancer.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the weirdest thing we've seen out here, maybe, but okay. And they kind of hurry off west towards the workshop.
You know, guys, we're pretty decent when we need to be. And sometimes when we don't need to be, and sometimes we're pretty horrible when we don't need to be.
Don't ever
I don't know where
listen
I was
to any
going
of
with
my
this.
recommendations ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad you got rescued from that prison?
Yeah, man, aren't you so glad that I came
Yeah.
along?
By us, of all people, in fact.
This is totally where you expected to go. But all right. Is anyone else doing anything here? And they're pretty much leaving. There's this tent. They've packed their things up. Not much at this location.
Yeah, we got 55 minutes left to take this train off the rails, so let's keep going.
Let's keep it going.
As we're going, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask Quinlan, what does she think might happen if we strap the tomes to the bomb?
I wanted to read those, though.
I know, but they also seem to draw very bad attention. I'm just
Forget
thinking.
if she knew that you had them.
Oh, that's right.
I don't think
Well,
she does.
she knows now.
Never mind.
That's never a wrong time for surprises.
That's true.
Because that changes her response. So you say, I wonder what would happen if we just strapped these tomes to
Yeah.
Mark,
the
wow.
explosion. Hey, John, when
Yeah.
was the last time you explicitly told me that you were checking to see if your silk was intact?
Oh, it's been a long time.
I know it has.
It's
So,
been since last week.
Oh my.
So, she says, what tomes? And you go in your pack, and like there's still silk on them, but as you pick it up, it's brittle, and you kind of lift it. Part of it's stuck inside of your pack, and the silk just kind of tears off, and you have the books.
Ooh, I'm gonna need to rewrap these, but
Yeah.
these.
Not sure how long that's been compromised.
Oopsies. You know what? They
Oopsie
haven't shown
whoopsie.
up yet. It's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, if they show up, then they're already halfway here.
I'm confused as to what we're worried about.
So
The
we've
bad
got
ditters.
we've got these evil books, and these evil books, there's an evil military organization that really wants these evil books.
But there's also a secret cult that Jasper was part of that wanted to use the books for other things. That some of them think that the books were used to help create the blight and so forth, and others think they can use them to stop it and change everything. I don't know.
It's
We
like
don't know.
the Brotherhood of Steel of books.
So yeah, we stole some and then Lonan wrapped them up in webbing to.
I tried to read them. Crossed my eyes.
Yeah,
I
they got these books pretty early.
Never did anything with them.
Things that they learned about the blight and all that is that like this whole blighted region of the world got destroyed, and you have since learned that it was because it was a failed summoning of this Azoi god that got merged into the ground. No one else in the world really knows much about that story. They just saw that there was a country here, and then it turned into a hellscape. So the story that all of the people on the continent believed was that that country did something bad and did it to themselves. Because that's the most, if you have no information, that's what it seems like. And these books and other relics that are from that country are being hunted down and destroyed by a cult of people that don't want the end times to come back and the blight to happen again. And then you learn that they're not destroying the books; they're actually using the books to study them and see what secrets they have. So you have 2 of those books.
Yeah, I wanted to do that, but I couldn't read them.
Yep.
He doesn't know how to read.
And Lonan
And they
never
were-
got
I mean,
around to trying.
No one was supposed to tell anybody that, Chuck.
Oh my
The
bad.
last time you guys messed with them, John put them in a Faraday cage of his like magic silk stuff with his spider powers because they interacted with them and they got this vision of someone watching them as they were trying to read the books. And it was someone from like Kethris up north, the headquarters of this cult. Seemed to be aware of their position. So who knows how long that Faraday cage hasn't been working.
I don't know.
It's been
If they want to
since
come into
yesterday.
this blighted
You know what?
nonsense, they're welcome to.
No one has showed up.
No
Except
one
Jasper.
No one has showed up that you've seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? If we strap the books to the bomb and then, like, it'll cause like a magical book explosion. And
I'm sure it can only get better.
Well, I do show Quinlan the book, so let's see her reaction.
Yeah. She's like, you should not have these.
Yeah.
Catherine Inquisitors track these and are aware of their positions at almost all times.
I know. I got to rewrap the masking. But
Did you get these from Jasper?
No.
An old lady who ran a bookstore like 100 miles ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before he even met you.
Yeah, this was a detail that I would have appreciated knowing that
well, they were
Did you
kind of
ask?
secret.
Inquisitors.
Did you ask if we had
So,
special books?
I mean, besides them being able to track us, what else can you tell us about them?
Well, these books were one of the things that Jasper was reading before the music started making sense to him in his words.
Oh, okay. It's probably worth. Well, I was just curious. Do you think it'd be a good idea to strap them onto the bomb?
If anything, I would prefer that. I hope that destroys them.
Okay. I figured since we got it wrapped in anti-magical more silver, that'd probably be...
It's probably an effective way to destroy them.
Yeah.
John.
Kind of stick it on the front of that face there.
So don't cross my eyes and try to read the books anymore. Is what
Probably
I'm hearing.
not. Probably not.
You're
Yes.
holding these books. The wind's blowing. This webbing is continuing to deteriorate away.
Okay. I will attempt.
And you're making physical contact with these books in the blighted region of the world.
Oh, that
boy.
sounds fun.
A special flag has been triggered.
Huzzah!
I didn't oddly specifically say anything just now.
Sure. We believe you, Joe. This wasn't a trap.
Yeah. Give me a charisma saving throw. So just click on charisma right there. Occult
Any context
so you
or
can
anything?
click that. Yeah, occult. So
Cool.
Look at that. One success.
I push it just in case. I'll take
3
it.
is what you needed.
Oh boy!
Oh no.
You did good.
All right. You take that 1 point of fortune damage.
Mhm.
Fortune peril. I say damage, but yeah, you get this like sharp. And I think you were the one that had the vision the last time too. So it's,
Yeah, I
it's
think
this
so. Yeah.
familiar feeling as if
Mm.
your senses are trying to be like pulled from your body, and like something's trying to show you something, or something's trying to find you. And
None of that now.
you see like your vision kind of dulling, almost as if it was going to bring you somewhere, but then it kind of snaps away. You hear a voice like almost materializing, but cuts out.
All right. Well, I'm gonna rewrap these.
Sounds like a plan.
The only
That-
thing, the other thing I will say that you felt from that is you felt that it was trying to pull you. And last time you felt that, you were not in Westreach. You were in like the next town over from Westreach.
Yeah.
And you felt like
Eastreach.
yourself being pulled all the way over to Cathris.
Mm-hmm.
This time, you were not pulled nearly as far. Even though like you're pretty much the same distance from Cathris, and you feel like you were not pulled nearly as far away as you were last time, as if the thing it's trying to communicate to you is much closer.
Okay.
I'm sure that's a great sign.
Yeah. So gonna wrap it up again.
I'll be right back. One moment.
It's wrapped.
I'm gonna push. I'll take it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
That's good.
You feel like it's more difficult to do this where you're at, but
Yeah.
you're still able to pull it off. You feel like you are able to reweb it. You've done this before too,
Mm-hmm.
so you're a little bit more familiar with it. And you spin these books in your web and it's sturdy again. Place them back in your bag.
Actually, I just tell everyone don't look, and I have to pull my pants down, do it proper, like
Oh
get the
yeah. Get to the
Get
back
that
door
real
spinner.
spider silk out
Just
there.
picture
Yeah,
you,
get that
on
real
your back
spider webbing.
with your hands and legs like
Yeah.
spinning it.
That's it.
Like a cat with a ball of yarn.
Yeah. Exactly that. Yep. But all right. Didn't feel compelled to do anything, but maybe a ping went off. Who knows? Maybe a ping had been going off. Who knows?
Probably.
All right. We continue onward. Quinlan is all right. The only other thing she would have to say on that is like, I'm all for strapping these to the bomb and blowing them up.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
Very much would not want you to read them. They
Cool.
seem to not be as strong when they're outside of the blight, but in the blight,
Here they're probably
That's-
real strong.
cracked Jasper pretty quick when he started reading the library while he was out here.
Fair.
Cool. Well, let's make like a tree. Go blow something up.
Yeah. Continue. Mist continues to get thicker. And it's thicker and thicker. You can barely see in front of you, just a few steps. Have you been following like this trail of the crustaceans the whole time? Or was that what you guys were doing? Or just kind of heading?
Well, they're headed that
this whole
direction,
time
right?
it has been going
Yeah.
towards the obelisk.
I mean, I would like to take the straight line there.
Yeah.
As long
It's
as like we don't see any
not
obstacles.
a perfectly straight line. Like it's kind of like the way ants do it, kind of contours a little bit. But it's basically going that direction. If you're not following it, every so often they'll kind of intersect your path if you're just going straight towards the east, towards where you saw the obelisk at.
Yeah.
Fog gets thicker.
I will probably continue to carry the bomb. Just
Okay.
so it's specifically said.
If you are the one carrying the bomb, are you also taking the books from John? If you wanted to.
Oh, because they were
Bob,
getting
they're
Now
taped
part of the
together.
bomb.
Yeah, if they're all getting blown up together, since I got the zippy doodah magic.
Okay.
Nightcrawler
You've got
powers.
the books in your pack. All right.
Nothing will go wrong, I'm sure.
It's going to be great.
As you're traveling through, mist is getting thicker. Fog's getting thicker. But then the light starts to brighten in front of you. You step through, and there's just this quick cut of the fog. It's open, clear. You see this, you're like along the edge of this fog now, and it's massive. You see there's kind of like a tilt to it. So you imagine that you're in this large circular space. The terrain kind of obscures. You're not able to see all the way out. But as soon as you break through, you do see the obelisk pointing above hills and rocks and things ahead of you. And you see the winding trail of these crustaceans. And a few other trails join up with them, similar crustaceans. Some are dead and have been smashed. You see places where their trail has been intervened with. You see like large claw marks, marks that look like they have been done with claws or maybe antlers.
Both are
Have
possible.
been disturbing their path. You do see more of these little critters just moving along, each with little bits of metal and things on top of them that they're holding. Yeah, it's just a very rocky space in front of you, lots of hills. And then you see the obelisk poking up above it. Continuing onward.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Bravely.
Bravely.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a choice of words.
For democracy.
For democracy.
That's what
Obelisk looks a little
inspires me.
darker than you remember from your vision. It was more of like this red kind of color, but now it's closer to a black. You approach. Are you guys going to try? So I guess the ways that you could approach is either going through, because there's kind of hills and things. Are you wanting to stay low, or are you wanting to go up high and try and see as far?
That one sounds better because
Yeah.
Star Wars taught me having the high ground is important.
High ground is important, and also actually being able to see to make sure we're staying on path. Because if we stick to the low ground, we could just end up doing fucking circles and shit.
Well, the obelisk is high enough that you can see it almost constantly, even from the low ground.
Maybe we
It's
can
a
get an eye on what's going on the ground around it.
Yeah.
It could be a
Al?
really cool fight going on between an antlered beast and a badger.
Or a
That would be
snake.
cool.
Badger. It's a snake.
Mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. Who's climbing up to the high ground to get a look?
I definitely will. If anyone else wants to come
Okay.
along, or do we just want to make our walking path cut along the high ground so
Naturally
we
take
can
us
all
up there.
see? Yeah.
Um,
Let's do that.
Okay. You guys all start making your way up one of these hills.
We all get up there and we see a horrifying sight, and the game ends.
Oh,
End scene. Credits. Make it up. On top of this hill, you look out, and it looks like the hills progressively get kind of lower as they go through. Like the highest ones are on the outside, and they gradually kind of slope down. The ground gets flatter and flatter as it approaches this obelisk. You see several more of these paths of the little crustaceans, and it seems once they make it about halfway through this clearing,
AMPZND, thank you for that raid. That is absolutely fantastic. We're
Hey.
playing Anvea, the game that Joe is making.
Yeah.
And this may or may not be the finale. It depends on how much we've derailed Joe's plans.
Either a lot or not enough. We're aiming for
Welcome.
a lot.
I think he expected to end this like 3 weeks ago. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's been good.
Like I said, aiming for a lot off the rails, not just a little.
It's hard to know how long things will take. Yeah. But you guys are up on this high point. You're able to see the gradual slope, eventually kind of flattening of this clearing with this massive obelisk in the center of it. You see that the paths get less organized of all these crustaceans, and they're just kind of circled randomly. And the frequency of their like being attacked, like where you see the claw marks and antler marks, lots more of that. Like you just see tons and tons of these dead little crustaceans in places where they've been destroyed, killed. And you see two massive beasts in the center. One is a massive elk, as you were described by Herman, and the other a massive badger. They appear to be locked in combat. They're both pretty beaten up. You see that there's like a big like gash in the side of the elk where their skin is like hanging down. Some of their eyes have been clawed shut. Bits of their antlers have been broken off. And the badger as well has many piercing marks where it looks like bits of the antlers gone into them. The badger looks like it's in better shape overall, but not by a lot. You see that they kind of go at it for a bit and every so often just kind of back up and circle.
So
The obelisk has it looks to be like a structure, but as you look at the base, maybe it's organic because you see where that explosion went off in your memory. But it looks like it's regrowing. Like the supports are kind of got this organic feel to it where it's curved in weird ways. There's not really like structural beams, but there's all these bits, looks like flesh and sinew kind of putting itself back together, and it's trying to reseal itself. And inside of the base of that obelisk, you see a massive stone cocoon, kind of coffin shaped a little bit, but cocoon of stone. That's very reddish, blackish stone.
I assume that's where the explosives need to go.
yeah.
That looks like
what's the range in your teleporter car?
Probably not that far.
So
Not as far from where you're at.
here's what I'm saying. We see these two fighting. We sneak up. We sneak past them. If need be, I've got a smoke powder bomb. Maybe we take toll of where the air is and set it off so that smoke drifts over. Or I sneak up right underneath the two of them while they're locked together, light it and run. Stun them both. I don't know, something. We get the bomb up there. We let a car get the bomb up there, light it. He zips out. We escape.
We can light
Bravely.
it before he goes.
You can what?
We can
We
light
can
it
even
before
light
he
it
goes.
before I go there. That way, there's a chance I die when I get there, but not
What?
100%.
What about slingshots?
You want me to do the thing?
If we
I can be
slingshot.
100% accuracy, though.
Yeah, that's
No. I was saying we slingshot a car.
Oh, and then there's a problem to that because
How
I
do
can
you
only
feel
teleport
about
back to where I was when I first teleported.
right. Also, how do you feel about flying at 1,600 miles per hour?
Sounds
That's
like a
lot.
great way to
That's a lot.
die.
Well, I mean, we don't have to put that much tension on it.
You know, the flight itself, not that bad. It's a sudden stop at the end. That's just got to
I
roll
imagine
with it.
sudden start would also be pretty bad, but
Details. Details.
You guys are
I don't
on
want to
this
do
hill
that.
Okay, fair enough.
planning. I imagine you're kind of huddled having
Yeah.
this discussion.
Yeah.
Hushed. Fours. That is Jake.
oh boy.
You're the one in this huddle that's kind of facing backwards. And you see the wall of fog that's kind of cleared. And up from this vantage point, you see it's almost a perfect circle. It just evenly goes around this obelisk. And as you're talking, kind of passingly out of your peripheral vision, you see that fog disturbed a little bit. You see a horse and another horse.
Uh-oh.
Banners. People on the backs of these horses that look
It's the
familiar.
sandwich people.
Oh no. Fellas, if we're gonna blow stuff up, we might want to do it soon because I think we've got company.
Throw what's her face's cloak on a car, and a car you just book it down there.
It's not a bad idea if she's willing to give it up.
Mm.
She thinks it over for a moment and looks back and sees what looks to be Catherine Inquisitors behind you all. And turns to you, says, I want this back. He takes your
Damn.
cloak and gives it to you.
So the Inquisitor's coming right for us.
They didn't go like from the same spot. It looks like they might not have noticed you yet, but you do see like there's kind of just this large entourage. You haven't seen the end of it yet either. That are just
I mean, we did
coming
tape
through.
the books back up, so they shouldn't know exactly where they're at.
Right.
Just
Well,
Right.
That's only
almost
gonna
exactly where
matter
they're at.
so much
Mhm.
for a few minutes.
And it looks like they took a different
Right.
kind of angle towards you guys too. Like they're coming through a different part of the fog.
But if
Yeah,
we dive
interesting.
onto the ground, then they can't see us. Especially if there's a little shrubbery or something in the way.
And it's just a
That's-
lot of you guys. You don't have your cart with you, in which case they would have immediately seen you.
Yeah.
But we'll say like Jake's able to see you guys or see them quick enough that he can kind of duck you all away. That I'm not going to require a roll for it or whatever.
Is there any high ground like that we can see that's above them where they're coming in or anything?
I mean, you're pretty much above them now. They're coming
Okay.
in like along the edge, and these hills and things kind of
Are they
roll. and-
quite a ways away though?
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh, what did we
Uh-oh.
lose?
we lost to Jake.
Jake is dead.
Oh no.
They took him out.
Oh no.
I don't have any
He
quick,
knew too
easy way
much.
to fix this.
He's actually hiding that well.
Hang
Yeah,
on a second. I gotta. This is.
Go,
he
gotcha.
accidentally
Yeah.
rolled his stealth outside of the game.
Oh my gosh. Is that like a hypnotoad I saw there for a
It
moment?
was. It'll come back. The problem
Coming back.
is, since I got my new monitor, we've never been down a player
Oh.
on this.
Oh,
Nice.
And
this
so-
layout's not fixed yet.
Yeah, this layout is not fixed because my
Some
new
abstract
monitor is
stuff
much
going
larger
on.
than my old monitor, which
Yeah,
throws shit off.
It's just the hair
Yeah,
thing that's all I am now.
yeah.
You're the
Impending
bull that
bald.
the zombie appreciates.
Impending baldness is all that's left of me.
All right. So Dan, Quinlan gives
Yes.
you the cloak. You put it on. You don't really feel any different wearing it. But the rest of you, that immediately, as soon as he puts it on,
Oh,
gets that kind
Jake.
of.
You comes.
Oh, is he coming
Jake's
back
back.
as soon as I'm
Yep.
almost got it fixed?
Yep.
naturally.
How that
Naturally.
works.
My computer shut off.
Oh, it shouldn't do
okay.
that.
No, that's
Did
disturbing.
you tell it? No.
Oh, shit.
Perhaps spritz it with the water bottle and tell it that it's bad.
Oh yeah. I gotta put it back
Water
in its
cooler.
carry cage until it learns. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, I'm just going to use the kitchen sprayer.
I think that's what that means.
Yeah,
Drop
that's
that.
how
That's
how you let your computer know it's bad. You spray it with water.
I'm
Indeed.
hearing all about this water cooling.
I put it in the bathtub.
And some
Yeah,
cool water on it.
you're up on this hill. Jake pulls you out of the side. You're able to duck out of line of sight of these, this like parade, pretty much marching line of. They're kind of 2x2. There's one guy in front with a big banner on his horse, but then it's just two wide line coming out. They seem to be kind of sorting themselves out into ranks on the edge of this fog as they're getting in. Looks like they're collecting themselves.
Do they seem
If
to be
I'm
taking-
invisible, I'm just gonna start on walking, but not very loudly.
Do they seem to be taking any
Sorry.
interest in the giant monster battle?
Have they even seen it
No.
yet?
They're below it, so it looks like they're because you guys are like on high ground, so you can look back and see where these guys are, but there's many things in the way. No one has ridden up, but it looks like they're done emerging from the fog wall. There's 13 total horses because there's the one in front, and there are 12 pairs.
And we're like,
or
it's like
6
sandy
pairs.
terrain or it's rocky terrain?
It's terrain kind of like what my background is, where it's like rocky and then there's a light layer of sand kind of over it.
Okay.
So there is like hard ground, but there is bits of sand that's kind of collected in
Are there
various places.
big like boulder type rocks?
Yeah, there are some.
Okay.
You see as they're collecting themselves, the one with the banner hops down off his horse and plants it in the ground. And you see he's kind of struggling with it a little bit as it's sinking in strangely, but he writes it back up. You can't hear what they're saying, but you see them kind of pointing around, directing people. And two of the horses break off and start circling around. It looks like they're getting up to high ground to take a look.
Are there any boulders that look like that could be like rolled down into the midst of them?
Yeah, give me an observation on that.
All right. I'm going to use my cantrip for it.
You got it.
Okay.
Bowling for Kniggets.
And then the context on this would be desolate, right?
This area is occult.
Ooh.
Occult or desolate, yeah.
Oh, it is.
2
Easy
6s.
bird.
You
Dog.
do see a large rock on. So there's kind of like a hill in front of them. There's a large boulder rock that's kind of wedged into that surface that's in front of them.
Okay. I guess I'll look at, I'll be like, let's say we give that big rock a shove right down in the middle of them. And then, Rudigard, do you want to pick off those riders, maybe?
Yeah, I'm down. Before or after rocking?
Both at the same time if you want.
Let's do it at the same
Just
time.
let them know that you're gonna rock them like a hurricane.
Unless somebody else has another
Yeah.
idea.
I don't actually. I'm already walking. I'm
Yeah,
not
you're-
actually
Yeah,
a part
you
of this
got this
conversation.
We're
So
doing
Dan is
distraction.
running towards the obelisk.
Yes, I just wanted to make my joke. Is all.
Okay. Dan's running towards the obelisk. He's got the bomb and the books.
I wouldn't say I'm running because I don't want to. I don't know how obvious it is if I'm moving or not, even still with the cloak.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to. I still want to move thoughtfully
Okay.
to not be noticed, because there's more than sight to being noticed.
Yep.
The clap of my ass
from
cheeks could
interacting
give me
with-
away.
From interacting with Jasper, he often said that he didn't really see things. He more saw like an aura of things.
Didn't realize Akar had some bootyliciousness going on. So
Mhm.
Could be that. So you're running off that way. Who is wanting to go with Dan towards the obelisk, and who is wanting to deal with?
Well,
These
Lonan
Kepler
and I
Inquisitors that were
looks
showing up.
like we're on ambush duty.
Okay.
So Al and
What's everyone else doing?
Jairus-
I'll head with a car. Well, no, I won't head with the car because they'll probably see me and then consequently him. So
Or maybe just you.
yeah, or maybe just me, and then I'll be really screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You want to go towards the two eldritch beasts or the Inquisitors?
For the army. Yeah.
Which
There's only
of
13
the two bad
horses.
choices
We got this.
do you want?
You know what? I think I can. I'll start off the ambush against the horsemen. I've got
Is it
just the
the
plan.
the 13 horsemen of the horse apocalypse?
Ah, geez.
you'd say they have 13 horsepower? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Sorry, April. Yep.
Boo.
I'm a father. What do you expect of me?
Boo.
Once you
Yeah.
have a child, it happens.
You're licensed.
Yeah.
There were the two that rode up. So if you guys are trying to make it over to this boulder to do something to it and shove it down, looks possible, but you can see the two that are going up are kind of like scouting. So you'll have to move stealthily or something. I mean, concealed
Sure.
checks or some other way to get over there.
Yep. I will. Well, I'm gonna try to sneak over there
Is that where I'm going to? Is that the plan?
if you want.
And
Yeah.
Quinlan clicks her staff, says, I can go either direction you want me.
You go with a car.
I
Okay.
don't know if that makes sense still, but
I just figure since she's already like heavily blighted and infected, maybe she'll blend in with the ambient miasma.
I
And
mean,
if
not
nothing
that
else,
my opinion matters because I already
she's-
started moving. So
She is quite a force to be reckoned with in terms of combat
Yeah.
ability. So
She runs off and goes to back up Dan. Rest of you, it sounds like, are dealing with the Inquisitors.
Yeah.
I'll let the sneaky people make the first move.
This
Okay.
is what? Desolate and what?
Desolate and Occult.
Okay, I've got a cult.
it's a Coco,
Get that.
Ooh, I'm gonna
but it's really just Coco's
push
tail.
that.
oof.
No,
All right.
one success. I am gonna go ahead and activate my risk assessment. I'm gonna ignore that 3 damage. So I'm just gonna write it with 1 success.
Okay. This is for you sneaking over
Mm-hmm.
to. Okay.
Getting into position so I can start sniping when that boulder comes down.
Okay. Do that. Who else is sneaking over to the boulder? Or, like, I think, John, you were going towards the
Yep.
boulder.
Yep. I got 2 successes.
Okay. Awesome. Jake, April, what are you guys doing?
I am terrible at sneaking, but I was going to head over to the boulder.
Okay.
I'm terrible at sneaking in, so I will not head over to the boulder.
Okay. Where are you going to then, Jake?
I'll just stay put on the high ground, and then if something starts to break out, I'll break in that direction.
Okay.
Do I
That's
need to
fair.
roll a conceal test?
Yes.
Okay.
You got it. Come on.
Probably not. Oh,
Hey, 2 successes.
Nice.
Nice.
take it.
That's great. Yeah, that's good. You sneakily make it over to the boulder with John.
Just
Rudigar.
two gnomes.
That's me.
Yeah.
Hey, we're short. They can't see us over the cusp of the hill.
Right.
I guess all
Right.
three of us are the short ones, aren't we?
Yep.
You are.
Yeah.
That
You
just gives
basically
us
get to
leverage
sneak
on this
for
big
free.
rock.
Yeah.
Quinlan is also normal sized. So she ran off with Dan. Chuck,
Yeah.
you got 1 success.
I did.
The other sneaky people got 2 successes.
They did.
So right as you guys make it over, Chuck, you're getting in position. It looks like the scouts are starting to look your way, and their gaze makes it to where you are, Rudigar, and you're set up with your bow. But this is right as John and April are able to make an action with this boulder. You got 2 successes, so we'll let you kick that off first before anything else happens.
Okay.
What are you guys doing to this boulder?
Hugging it.
I know what I was gonna try to do is use
Mhm.
my athletics cantrip, and I actually go around to the front and I'm webbing and yoinking it.
Okay.
You want to give it a little boost back there?
Yeah. I'll say, April, you can make a test too on the other side if you're doing anything to help push this or shove it.
Yeah, just assist
Whatever you
in
wanna
pushing it when he starts to pull.
Okay. Yeah. Say either you can lend another die to his attempt, or you can make your own test to physically try to move it. Which either you prefer.
I will lend a die.
Okay.
So that
Make
give me a modifier.
Yeah, so modifier +1. Oof.
I'll push it.
2 successes. 3 damage.
It rolls over your toe, but you get it to move. No.
Yep. It's fine.
Yeah, it's
fine.
definitely
Got
strain. You flip a little bit,
this. Pulled
but
something.
you get these webs pulled. You shove it. April's back there behind, like kicking it. I'll say, pushing with her little gnome legs.
I got little legs.
Yep, but it's enough as this boulder dislodges
Thought about
itself.
the size.
You're able to
or
dive out of the
something.
way, John. Just barely. Hurts a little bit.
Yeah,
But
no. Dive
now
to the side and
the Inquisitors are being attacked by a boulder. And I'll say, Chuck, you are noticed, but they
Mhm.
are also now slightly distracted by the fact that there is a massive boulder rolling down the side of the hill. So you're able to take an action as well.
Yeah, if I'm able to take an action, anyone that looks like they're about to yell like a warning or a look out,
Okay.
get out of the way, I'm going to try and shoot them in the face.
Yeah,
Did
it
you
looks
get it?
like one of the scouts is about to yell
No,
something.
I didn't.
So.
All right.
See, the people down at the bottom are kind of not really huddled, but like communicating with each other.
Yeah.
It seems like they haven't noticed it quite yet.
Okay. So first question, I'm going to imagine that this is too far away for the point blank to come in. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely not.
Okay.
Like,
Cool. I am
yeah,
good with
not
that.
outside of your range to modify it negatively.
Okay. Then, yeah, I make a shot. This is Desolate or Occult.
Yep.
Oh, fuck. I'm going to push.
1 success.
One success. Hang on. I don't think I want to let that ride. I'm going to use my once a session nimble, my halfling trait. I'm just going to reroll that because fuck that.
Okay.
That's
2 successes.
2 successes.
better to start with.
I'm going to go ahead and push it. I want this to go through. 3
3,
successes,
okay.
1 damage. I will take
Yeah,
it.
1 point of damage, but 3 successes.
Still missed.
And
Alright.
these scouts are a little bit less heavily armored.
Okay.
So all 3 of them go through for damage.
So that's 1 damage die for 1 success. So I'm looking at 3 damage die.
Yeah, 3 damage die. So roll your impact at 3 damage die, and then click your trusty for your weapon.
Oh, just 8 damage. That's disappointing.
Just 8 damage.
Unless you picked up the skill for battle tactics.
I did. How can I leverage that? Yeah, I did.
You can use your quick action, I think, to make it brutal, or is that just free for having battle tactics?
You spend a swift action.
Oh, it's melee. Sorry.
It is melee.
Dang it.
Well, that's stunt melee. Oh, it is melee.
Damn. I got excited for nothing.
So that means for battle tactics, all I could use is strike.
I don't know if it should be just melee. I don't think I have a different version of it for ranged.
I don't think you do, because I would have taken that.
Yeah. I'm fine with battle tactics working for both.
Okay.
I don't remember why I wrote it specifically as melee. I think it was because I was modifying the monk ability, making it kind of parallel to that. So that's probably why it says melee. So I'm fine
we found a thing to improve.
Yes.
All right.
This game is in development still.
Hooray.
I'll take the 17.
Oof.
That is significantly better.
Good call, Dan. Good reminder.
Yeah. 17 is definitely higher than 8, and that is enough to drop him. It's not enough for it to loop around where you insta-kill him with that one hit.
Yeah.
But you have knocked him off his horse.
Okay.
He's not able to say anything. And that kind of distracts the other guy as well. So, like, he's hit. He goes falling off his horse. The other guy freezes and looks at that and looks over at you.
Nice.
Sees the boulder. Doesn't say anything. But
cool.
Wherever it's
no one taught him that if you see something, you say something.
Yeah. Okay. There's a boulder rolling towards all these Inquisitor guys I have. Let's do this. There are 12. What did I say? There's 13 total, 2 split off, so there's 11 down there. I'm gonna roll a D10. We'll see how many are hit by this. 3 are hit by this boulder.
Nice.
Take it.
And are out of the fight. 3
nice.
are crushed completely by this boulder.
Very
Fair.
good.
Not that I want to hamper myself, but I think it'd be funny. Dan, you have an ability that lets you swap dice out.
I do.
Doesn't
but
miss.
I have to know what the rolls are to do so.
I rolled a 3. Are you not able to see that?
I see demo player.
Yeah. Does it say what I rolled?
I see a 3.
Okay, it does, but I wasn't sure if I could swap that roll out since it's a D10 and I rolled a D6.
Any die roll, even if it's not a.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you could downgrade someone's impact to a lower die size. That's cool.
Yes. It is any rolled dice, no matter what size they are. No matter if I rolled them, even if it was a D100.
Okay. I wasn't sure because I, for some reason, making up my own restrictions, thought it was a D6 for a D6.
And that's part of why I'm mentioning it here. Not that I want you to kill more of my things, but
so like this is where I could put a 5 in here instead and kill 2 more.
Yes.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, and I may go ahead and take that, even though I kind of wanted to save that 5 for myself. This sounds more fun. In case I had like a wraparound roll and I needed a 5 for success.
Well, you still got one more die, right? What's the other die total?
It's a 1.
It was 1.
Well, save that for when those big giant monsters try to kill you.
You don't have to do this.
Yes.
I may not be manipulating you to do something.
Oh, no.
It could be. Oh, my God.
But who knows what I want to have happen?
Yeah,
True.
I may be selfish in this case and keep
That's
the
fine.
5.
Okay.
That's fine. I mean, we just reduced 13 down to 10 and a half.
Yeah.
No, 9.5.
Yeah.
That's how math works.
It's one of the ways it works.
Mm-hmm.
It is. All right. This skirmish breaks off. Jake,
Yes.
you haven't participated in it yet, but you see an arrow fly. One of the scouts are dropped. Boulder rolls down, crushes the 3 on the leftmost flank of these. The boulder crushes, smashes them into the ground. The ground is like kind of getting pressed into, similar to like how it's been like when Chuck stomped on it earlier or whatever. Like you see it depressing the ground. This weird ooze is kind of filling in the track as it rolls, and it goes spiraling out into the mist. You hear boom as it hits. Fight's broken off over there. You don't see that anything has happened with Dan and Quinlan yet. Although you can't really see Dan, but you do see Quinlan running that way.
Well, I assume the giant monsters are still going at it, so I'm not concerned
They
with
are.
that. As for the other guys, there's not a whole. I guess there isn't a whole lot I can do. I'm not a ranged sort of guy.
Oh my gosh. Got raided again.
Fuzka, I don't know how to pronounce that, but thank you for that fucking raid. That's fantastic. I also would see Insomniac Night RPG. I'm familiar with your channel.
Awesome. Welcome, Raiders.
Cool.
We're playing Anvea, the game I'm making, and dragging these people through
That is true.
doing a playtest.
Very true.
Could be argued
All right.
we're dragging you through your own game.
Mm-hmm.
Good way to put it.
It is that way. Where are you going, Jake?
I'm going to try to. Can I see all of the people who have not been either shot or crushed by a giant rock?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to attempt a mass deceive cantrip and try to convince
Okay.
them that the rock came from somewhere else.
This isn't the boulder you're
Wow.
looking for.
Wow.
Or is it another castle?
I mean, I'll let you attempt it. I will remind you, it left a large impression in the ground.
Yes. I'm going to magically lie my ass off.
But
Hang
you know
on.
what? You see, knowing what people in the real world will believe, it's fine. I buy
Oh,
this.
it's fine.
Yeah.
I would like to put out, we currently have 4 audience boosts and 1 audience reroll.
Ooh.
Okay.
Jake, you should take some and or all of those boosts.
You know what? Yeah, I'm going to take all those boosts.
The boost, yes. I would like to save the reroll for my inevitable failure. That is sure to happen soon.
Yeah.
All you have to do is light the dynamite.
What is the context for this?
Desolate or occult?
All right, I've got a cult.
Nice.
So
And don't
here we
forget the
go.
+4 modifier.
I got it in there.
Good God.
3
Wow.
successes.
And you haven't even pushed yet.
I'm not going to push. Instead, I'm going to burn 2. I'm going to burn 2 charisma to turn 2 of those 4s into 6s.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
5 successes.
Ooh.
That's bananas.
They're gonna think that boulder came from the other side of the flat
Came
Earth.
from space.
And all of them will be wraparound criticals as well. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. With that, what is this? You're casting a mass deceive illusion spell. Is this more like just in their mind, or are you like trying to apparate a thing that makes it look like it came from somewhere else? Like, what
just
angle do you see this spell?
purely in their mind. I'm just going to put it,
Okay.
the thought in their head that that rock came from somewhere else,
Okay.
from behind them even.
Yeah. So, and that was the angle I was going to go. Is that
From the mist.
there are other similarly sized boulders and rocks and things. There were some that this rock rolled over. So there is that track, but you do see there's still like kind of a hole that's filling itself back in from the mist that this rock punched. And that kind of lines up with this track. So you cast this. They were all thrown off guard. No one called out anything yet. They look over, they see the 3 crushed. They're hit by this spell. They see the pocket, and they all turn towards the fog and hop off of their horses and draw their weapons, expecting more boulders to come careening through the fog wall as you've turned them all away.
But they will fight with their swords.
I am perfectly satisfied with this.
Yeah.
That's what 5 successes will do.
Yeah,
on a fight.
that'll do it.
All right. Yeah, you've effectively distracted all of them. So basically, everyone that's fighting these gets another turn on him. The only guy that gets to act,
Is that the
actually,
guy I shot?
will say that you hit the scout too. Like, I think that's fine. He's also confused. So we'll let Chuck and John and April all take another turn on these distracted, confused
All right.
Catherine Inquisitors.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna activate my priority as well. Would this count as combat so I can do that?
Yes, you're in
Okay.
combat now.
All right, cool. So the scout who I shot down, who's actually aware of where we came from,
Mhm.
how, looking at him, does it look like he would be able to signal to the others which direction the attack came from?
If they were looking his way, yeah.
Well, they might turn around. I am just... Oh, no. The one who's farthest back in the group, everyone's
Mhm.
looking this way, so the person that's farthest away from that direction, I'm going to shoot
Mhm.
him in the back of the head. Not a called
You do
shot.
have strike as well
What?
in your battle tactics, which allows you to, like,
If
if
I
you get
get
multiple
extra
successes, like say you got 3 successes, instead of making 3 attacks or 3 dice worth of an attack on one, you can do 2 on 2.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll save that then and see if I can get multiple dice. So ranged, and I get to throw.
Yeah, and you can do it
modifier.
after you do the roll. But if you're choosing to do that, you don't use priority.
Oh, well, I rolled with priority, so too late.
Okay.
Fuck
Oof.
me.
Oh no. You just oopsie whoopsie yourself.
I did, and
You
I
launched an
already
arrow.
spent my nimble.
Yep.
I already spent risk assessment.
Yep.
I'm gonna use I'm gonna use my context. I'm gonna use level-headed.
Can't use context rerolls in combat.
But if I have level-headed, I can.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna
Then you
use my
can.
level-headed reroll.
Nice.
And I'm gonna use a context reroll. Since I have level-headed, I'm gonna reroll this.
All right.
Nice.
Fuck me. I'm gonna push. I get one success. That's as good as I'm gonna
they'll
get.
hit one. I will say, okay, so you're trying to shoot at the guys like down the hill, right?
Yeah, I'm shooting at the
Or-
people that are down that are looking the other direction. I'm trying to shoot at the one that's closest to us.
Okay.
Is one success still good enough?
It is good enough for some of them, and it is clearly visible that some of them are more heavily armored than others. So, of the 3, let's see, there were 2 up on the hill that were light, and there was another. Well, 4 of them are still lightly armored down there. The one that is closest to you is one of the heavily armored ones, and the others that got crushed are heavily armored. So you'd have to shoot at one of the lightly armored ones if you want to do damage to them. So you could go at like the opposite end of.
Then yeah, I'll shoot at a lightly armored one.
Okay.
And so this is
Do
just
so.
1 die.
Yep, 1 die damage.
Just 3 damage. Very weak.
Still goes through. Looks like some of that was prevented by their light armor, but they still took some damage.
Okay.
All right. Then we've got John and April. What are you guys doing? You threw a boulder at them.
Gareth, what do you want to do?
Well, here's the thing is I don't really have any kind of ranged attacks. So if I wanted to do any kind of damage to them, I would either have to find another boulder or run down there and start stabbing.
You want my rifle?
Do you have magic, Jairus? I don't remember.
I don't think I do. I never.
I don't think she's a
Oh, I'm
caster.
thinking of your strawberry leshy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, different game. On YouTube.
Yep.
Tuesdays and Thursdays. Oh, I need to edit an episode.
You do.
Yeah. I mean, you're close enough to John that you can take a rifle off of him if you want to start using that.
Yeah, if you've got one to
You're
spare, I can
ranged
try
with
it.
that.
Yeah. Do you want the one that does a D6 or the big old rifle that does a D10?
Whichever one you're willing to part with.
Have the big old rifle. I've got
Okay.
stupid ideas to go do.
I like
It'll be
these
fun.
ideas.
Since-
Those are the best ideas.
Good
Yeah.
God. All right. Well, does it. Were there still the two scouting up on the side of the hill?
There are two scouting up on the side. One was hit and he was knocked off his horse. And if he's hit again, he's dead. Because the way that most health bars work is like they've got a certain amount of health. And then when they run out of that, they have to be hit one more time to die. So he's kind of like in that last hit state.
Finish him.
Bum, bum,
Okay.
bum, 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 bum,
Or
bum, bum.
So that would be.
The ranged.
Yeah, it'd be ranged, which would use your agility.
Mortal Kombat music
I
begins
think
playing in the
Insert
background.
of-
Mortal Kombat music.
And then you've got Desolate too, so you can click. So you should be rolling with 6 dice, I believe. I don't think you have any skill in ranged, but still 6 dice with your agility and context clicked.
That is not bad at all. Oh,
What's
full
success?
success.
And you're finishing off the guy that was on the ground there.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, roll that 1d10 for damage. Okay, and yeah, as long as it's not a 1, because he's got armor for that. So 6. You hit him in the neck with this bullet, he bleeds out and dies on this hill.
You'll be
Perfect.
reloading your next turn. Because that's trade-off. But yeah.
That checks.
Okay.
Okay.
John, what are you doing?
All right. Are these guys far enough waiting for me, or are they close enough, I should say, for me to use my spells? Depending, or does it depend on the
If
spell?
you spend 1 swift action moving, then yes, you can.
I will spend one
Okay.
swift action to move towards them, and I'm going to pick out one of the heavily armored ones, and I'm going to try to turn his armor into spiders, into a spider swarm.
Wow.
All right.
Let's go, magic. There. Well, I'm
A
gonna
lot
push
of gray and 1 red.
Yeah,
Oof.
that is unfortunate.
Oof. It is. Yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't go off. As
Does that mean I've lost my feral magic?
Yes. Until
Okay.
you short rest.
Okay, that's fine.
That or you can burn one of your attributes to get at least 1 success, and
You know
you
what?
lose it.
Oh, that's a good point. I will do that. I will burn that to give me 1 success, and not lose it.
It's not a terrible idea.
I'll say 1 success
Yeah.
is not enough for it. Basically, you're ruining his armor. It's not enough
Yeah.
for like the spiders to become animate to the point where they're going to be doing things. But
You know
his
what? I'll
spiders,
take
or-
that.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say
you-
making him easier to hit for the rest of us is worthwhile.
Still
absolutely.
valuable.
Yeah,
And probably better than losing your magic.
Yes.
also very true.
Okay. With that, there are 1 died. There are now 5 lightly armored, with 1 of them being up on the hill. And then 3 of the heavily armored ones died. Okay. Dan, Cut back to you. You're running. You've got your cloak on.
If it's reasonable.
Quinlan catches up to you and is like keeping pace with you. You get
It's
closer.
concerning because it's apparently that obvious where I'm at, but
She's probably more used to seeing with this cloak than she's had it a while. She runs up by you. You guys are making it up. She says, "What's the plan?" There's two ahead of us.
there's a thing. I'm going to put the bomb there and I'm going to blow it up.
Yeah.
I could teleport.
Okay. What do you need me to do?
Maybe nothing, hopefully. It depends on how close I can get. I can only teleport so far, but then I can teleport directly back to where I was as long as I don't move my feet from where I stop. So I gotta get close enough to go there and then come back. That's it.
As you guys are running up, the Badger and the Elk are engaged in combat. They're taking swipes at each other every so often. They'll kind of charge towards one and then they'll back off. They both look like they've kind of been tired out a little bit, but they've still got a lot of fight in them. And
Like worst case, I need you to distract them.
You do see that their circling kind of stops, and they both look up and seem to be alerted to something. They're not looking at you yet, but something is distracting them for sure. They've become aware that something is going on. Something is in the presence. And it's right about that time, too, that you hear the gunshot go off. April takes out one of the finishes off the last guy. Gunshot cracks out, echoes. You see them turn their heads towards where you're at. They haven't really made eye contact on you. You guys are able to duck away to the side. They are about the distance, like the distance of your teleport is where you'd have to get basically within one movement of them, and then you could teleport all the way to the obelisk and then back. Because they're basically 3 movements away, but they're very large.
Whatever I need to do to get the thing done. That's the most important thing. I won't disappoint Quinlan this time, probably.
Oh, that's a tall
right.
Well, Rudiger's not there at the moment to shoot the bomb prematurely, so
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, you got that going for you.
You do.
Yeah.
Of course, you're the only one who really doesn't have any experience with this scenario. Because you
No,
were
I was
off
there.
stealing.
no, Jairus wasn't there.
That was very
Yeah, I wasn't
important.
there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have about as much experience as I do. I was stealing a pitchfork and some books and some other things. I wasn't actually fighting at all.
Okay. So
I didn't get to keep
you
any
see
of them.
that the beasts have been alerted. They're slowly, like they put their heads up. They hear the gunshot. You see they seem to not be kind of engaged in combat with each other anymore. And they both are slowly kind of looking up in the air, sniffing around, trying to see if they can see anything. They're moving your direction, kind of, but it's more the direction of the gunshot, but you happen to be that way as well. So if you're trying to get up there, I'll say conceal, unless there's something else that you're trying to do.
I mean, I've got one objective.
Yeah. With that,
Not very exciting for my part of this game right now, but
no, it's fine. Roll that conceal.
where is it?
And you do have the cloak, so I'm factoring that in what you need. Two
Oh, wow.
successes.
Good enough. Hopefully, I can push it if I need to.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
The statement.
Okay, I will spend 2 of my agility to just have all successes.
Okay, 4 successes is good. You run up. They seem to not be aware of you. Like they're looking past you.
That leaves
you
me
make
with
it.
1 agility.
What do you need agility for?
That's all you need.
That's
0
all
is
I
when it's a
need.
problem. 1's not great, but 0 is when there's issues. You run up and you plant your feet down. You are at the distance you need to be to get to the obelisk with your teleport. Are you doing that?
This might sound strange, but not yet.
Okay.
I'm going to keep moving as much as I can without being noticed because I'm actually concerned about using magic.
Okay. I will say, because you don't immediately go, and you've done this conceal, you're running through, you kind of run past them. They don't seem to pause or notice. And you just kind of run in between where these two massive
I
beasts
consider using the magic actually like a last ditch thing in this case.
That's fair. This extra time you're getting as you're running out and not just immediately blinking, you see that these crustaceans have made it through in the confusion and are starting to collect around the base of this massive stone cocoon. And you see their metal edges, they're kind of like climbing over it and trying to wedge it into the cocoon. And you see them almost trying to pry this thing open with dozens and dozens and dozens of these little crustaceans. Doesn't look like they've got through it yet, but you can see that's what they're trying to do. I'll say you're spending the rest of your turn just running up them.
So they're trying to open the cocoon.
They are. Well, whatever
Yes.
god or thing was in there. I forget what it was called, but
A Zoe.
a Zoe.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanting to make sure I got all the facts straight.
As you're running by, you're concealed well. You hear the elk snort, and they turn their head and see Quinlan. We cut back. The rest of you fighting the Inquisitors.
Yep.
Because
Good
of
luck,
course she would
Quinlan.
with you.
Is it initiative time?
It is initiative time. Let's have you all roll that.
I'm gonna roll it.
Yeah, failed. Like I always do.
Oh, jeez.
I so rarely ever.
Ooh, I pass. Yes.
Six, 3. Math is hard. There are 8 left. How that works? I think that's how that works. That's what I'm going to go with.
2 to 1. Fine.
5 lightly armored, 3 heavily armored. And then John fails, Jake fails, April fails. Chuck, you succeed.
Yep, I do.
You go first. You
Yep.
see 5 lightly armored, 3 heavily armored. One of the lightly armored is up on the hill.
I'm going for that one.
Okay.
Lightly armored.
Take a
on
shot
the
at the
hill.
scout.
I'm going to use priority. I'm not going to take my quick action.
Yep. 1 success.
I'm not going to push it because
Okay.
I don't want to take 2 damage.
Still deals damage.
Just
5.
5.
Okay. All right.
And that's my turn because I don't have a quick action.
Okay. The rest of you failed. So you see them out there. The scout doesn't call out. There's a gunshot that goes off behind them, though. And you see
Didn't know about
that they're looking at the mist, looking at the fog wall, waiting for more of these to come back. But with that gunshot going off, not all of them, but a few turn to look behind to see what that was. And let's see here, R7. We're going to roll a D6 to see how they turn around. It's only 1 turns around. I didn't mean to roll that as April, but Yeah, one turns around. So this is one of the lightly armored guys. Actually, we're gonna say it's the. It makes the most sense that it's one of the heavily. It's the guy that you hit with the spiders. He's probably the most not in, most aware something's going on. So he turns around and he sees a lot of you up on this hill behind him. He's got his sword out, but looking up, seeing you guys are out there, he's going to start charging forward, and doesn't have enough movement, does he? Actually, John, you would be able. You're in range.
Oh yeah.
So this guy runs up. His armor just turned to spiders. He sees a guy that looks kind of like a spider. He's gonna run at him.
I'm just like,
yeah. All right, he's gonna take a swing at you. He's only a little bit beefy, only a little bit angry.
Oh my gosh.
2 damage.
Uh-huh.
That he takes from pushing. You're taking 3. Oh my god.
Fuck.
Rolled high on that.
So my max is normally 7. I currently only have 1 HP.
Okay. So how much armor do you have?
I have 1 point of armor.
1 point of armor. Okay, so 18.
Mm-hmm.
And you have 1, and your max is 7, you said?
Yeah.
Why did I do this to myself with math? Okay, 18, so 1. You've got 17 damage left over.
No, because it's 19, right? So it'd be 18.
Well,
damage.
your armor.
Right.
The armor takes 1.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 18, and then you're at 0.
Okay. Oh, right.
And
right.
then there's 17 left over.
Yes. Okay.
So that will loop around twice.
Mm-hmm.
14. So you take 3 fatigue, and then make your fatigue roll. Immediate condition Figment.
Okay.
A random entity in your vicinity causes you fear until the end of your next turn.
Probably this dude.
Yeah, we're gonna say that.
This guy's covered in spiders, man.
yeah,
Nice
that's
thing though.
scary.
Immediate condition. Not so nice. Immediate condition. It clears after 1 turn, but you don't get your health back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
Yep.
So you stay at 0.
That's fine.
I've
lived at
so
0
you're
for
feared on this guy.
a while before.
Yeah. Okay. The rest of them are still looking at the fog. We're going to see how many. I did that roll. Jake rolled so damn well. They're still looking at the fog. That was my
5
one roll to see
criticals,
how many
baby.
broke
Yeah.
out.
That's awesome.
So the rest of you get to go now. Chuck was the one that went first. The rest lost their turn.
So,
John, Jake, or April, what are you guys doing?
what does fear do exactly?
Let me
As a
reread
condition.
it just so I don't tell you wrong, but I'm pretty sure it makes
Joe, you made it up. No matter what you say, it's got to be right, right?
Right.
That is
Left.
true. I think it just makes you lose your context against them.
Oh, okay.
But it might be worse than that. Let me. Status effects. Fear is. Oh, it's that's right. It changes to hex range. So if you do a check against or while they're right next to you, your hex range goes up by 1, which is in that macro. Basically, hex range by default it's 1, which is like when it turns the die red. So now your hex range is 2 on all of your rolls. So you guys get locked in dealing push damage and stuff to you if it's a 2 or a 1.
Okay. Well, I am going to, what I'd like to do is, so my last advancement I got was the major for the feral shape. So I will take on the form of a small spider,
Okay.
and I'm going to crawl, I'm going to try to crawl into this dude's pant leg or something. And
okay.
I think that it lets me change is a swift action, but then also moving. So I figure that uses up my stuff for this round. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll say that's your 2 swift actions. And then is it as an action, or it's action, swift action to change? So you still have your full dice action to do something.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna try biting him with, but since I can use my full range of abilities, I will use it as my cantrip.
Okay.
Oh my god, that's great.
Nice.
But I don't get my context and hex range increased to 2. Got it.
My armor was spiders, and then a spider bit me.
That doesn't look right.
Yeah. Well, I've got. Oh, it is correct because my wisdom is like way down, and that's my spell casting attribute.
Wisdom's at 1,
and my melee cantrip is only a 1.
Oh
so.
wow. Okay. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Dice.
Oh well.
That's rough.
Yep. That's
okay. Yeah. Doesn't hit.
That's
you're trying to bite, but you're not able to.
Like
Yeah. Okay. With that, April or Jake, what are you guys doing?
By all means, go ahead.
This guy would be right next to me, wouldn't he? Since
he's close enough for you to move up on. Yeah, because you were pretty much right next to John.
Okay. I might go ahead and stab him with my self-cleaning dagger.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
Self-cleaning dagger. No evidence.
That is right. You've got
Windex, asshole.
Would that be brawn or agility? Because I think I use agility to roll.
Yeah, because you've got that's a finesse weapon, so you can do your agility with that melee. So when you click on melee, you can switch that to agility. Oof.
We'll push it. I shouldn't have pushed it.
I'm gonna use my inspiration to allow you to re-roll that.
Appreciate it.
Very cool.
Good God.
Boy. One success. This guy's lightly armored now because his armor turned into spiders, so that does hit.
Okay, and I believe it's a D6.
Yeah, this is a D6. So roll it.
For 3D.
3 points damage. So goes through. He's confused as the spider's trying to climb up a leg, and you get him in the side.
Thank you, Jake.
And your dagger does not have any blood on it as you pull it out.
It's so clean.
So clean.
Handy dandy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
nice.
handy.
As I understand it, we're on high ground, and this guy ran up the high ground to meet us, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna try to compel him to just leap backwards as hard as he can.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
Do it.
It's just like me and Helldivers
Yeah.
all the time. Something I don't like on the hill with me, jump down it.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, damn.
Unfortunately, it doesn't pop off.
Our
As,
rolls have not been good tonight.
Do we have
No.
any
Had a
more
couple
bank
of good
re-rolls?
Just
we have
one.
but we were.
Got
I'll leave
the
it for
one.
a car.
Yeah.
You can use it if you want. I mean,
No,
I'm all
good.
for you using that.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
He probably is.
Okay. Yeah, you try to compel him, but doesn't materialize in his head. And he's still maybe he's too distracted by the spider crawling up his leg trying to bite him.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And then after that, I'll just try to move up on him then.
Okay.
And I'll end my turn
Right
that
up
way.
there. That's the end of that round. Goes back to you, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
The elk has turned, is looking at Quinlan. You hear her staff click on the ground. She rolls around and has her glaive ready. It looks like this thing's like stamping, ready to charge at her. You look ahead. You see the obelisk with the base exploding and reconstructing itself out of this strange flesh that seems to be growing from around the cocoon.
Mm-hmm.
little crustaceans picking, chiseling, trying to wedge their way in. You see them like pushing their bodies with these metal instruments into the cracks and folds in this, trying to pop open the cocoon. You see lots of little bits of clutter and dust and rock that's broken free of this.
Okay. I know that I might be causing problems for myself, but I'm gonna keep on carrying on.
Okay.
Because if I can get in there on my own,
Yeah.
that is
I'll say-
probably the most ideal situation.
Yeah.
I'll say if you use all your movement this turn, you were there and you've got a die roll. So you can burn your swift actions here to get up on it. You are at the cocoon.
Because I still gotta light the thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the cost is of doing that. But
I mean, you can do that as a check of some kind. Like it depends on how you're trying. Like, what are you trying? Like, I could say it's like an athletics where you light it and then run. Right? Like you can incorporate the lighting of the fuse into any check you're trying to do, depending on what you're trying to do afterwards.
My goal is I want to light it and I want to watch it basically burning down till about the last second.
Okay.
Like I want to make sure this thing goes off. And then I'll teleport away when it's like boop.
Yeah. You're up. Are you setting this like on top of the cocoon, or how are you positioning this bomb?
I don't know exactly what the structure is, but I assume I want it at the bottom of whatever I can put it. So
It's pretty much, there's like this obelisk, and then there's, picture like a circular bit has been blown out, and then there's just kind of supports that are holding up the obelisk. So it's like a
right.
almost like
and
a
this
gazebo
this is
of
on the
obelisk.
inside of it, right?
Yeah, and then this cocoon is like the center of where this obelisk was. And so you basically have this kind of like opening with the obelisk above it. And there's just this big stone, hard stone cocoon.
Is it on the ground or is it suspended?
Yeah, there's like a little bit, it's not suspended in air, but there's like a little bit of like kind of ramps up going to it.
Okay, like I can't just like tuck it under its butt and give it a little pat and
So the cocoons, there's like folds and things that you could probably tuck this into the stone underneath the cocoon. It's like raised a little bit. It's not floating or anything, but it's like this kind of like bean shaped almost. And then, yeah.
Does it look like there's a face that I can just...
You don't see a face, but as you're studying it, stone looks really hard. It looks a lot harder than the stone that you've been standing on.
Okay, definitely wedging it
crushes
underneath, so that way it's got the most pressure.
Okay. You hear the chiseling. You see these crustaceans chipping
Definitely
away.
working off my like 6-year-old fireworks setting off knowledge.
Yep.
Yep, you
able to
put it
find
in a
a
tight
spot
place
to
and it
wedge
blows up
underneath.
the best.
Yes.
Okay. You're
And I'm sure it's definitely not the
You're
wrong
lighting it.
thing to do because they're trying to get it out and we're definitely not helping that, I'm sure.
Fine.
Okay. I'll say, so you want this to be more of a physical test where you're timing it, or like an intelligence test where you're studying it?
I spent my physical attributes, so I will say an intelligence test where I'm timing it.
Okay. Studying it, figuring out the best way to position it with this roll.
Mm-hmm. Would that be observe?
Yeah. Observe, or this would probably be discern because you're like right up on it. So this is more of a discern test.
Oh no. Okay.
Observe is usually more of like a nondescript as much kind of thing, and discern is like analyzing something.
Here's that reroll. I guess. Yes, because I don't want to die.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can burn attributes for successes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I will
that's
say
true.
like the hard part of this is not the lighting of the fuse. it's
It's the
Yeah,
getting away
I-
afterwards.
I will burn attributes on this. I don't know how many you want for me to be successful.
um
If one is good enough, I can give you that. If two is good enough, I can also give you that. And if three is good enough, that is too much.
We do have a
so
reroll too.
We do.
you do have a reroll.
I will give you all two of my intelligence.
With all two of your intelligence, as you're setting this up and you're about to light it, something tells you that the stone is too thick.
Oh, God.
And you're not entirely sure that this will go away. It looks like this survived that explosion before. Like the section that's cleared out of this obelisk is that explosion from this bomb previously.
Oh no.
And this obelisk is still standing. But these little things chiseling into the cocoon, trying to open it, seem like they're making headway on that slowly. But you get the feeling that maybe you should open it more or loosen it more or weaken it more before setting up the bomb for maximum effect.
Then that's worth spending my 2 intelligence on. I will wait a moment.
Okay. Okay.
I
You
can
burn 2
try
intelligence.
to help with my 2 intelligence.
Yeah, I'll say that's basically what you're doing with this test then is you're aware, like you're setting up the bomb and you realize I need this to take a little bit longer for it to go off when this is more chipped away. And this thing is at this point too is like crawling with these little crustaceans with their little metal pieces. They're wedging themselves in there, trying to pop it open. This cocoon slowly kind of eroding away with that, chipping into more and more dust.
Only you had
These
some
little
sort
things
of
are ignoring you
magic
completely
sword.
too.
I do, but I think I've used my action at this point. So
The elk makes a charge at Quinlan.
good luck,
Goodbye,
Quinlan.
Quinlan.
You got this. Or that, you know.
And misses.
Oh.
She dodges to the side. All right, cut back. Another round of initiative for everyone. Actually, let's do this not so much an initiative, just like kind of call out what you guys are doing because we're getting kind
Sure.
of late. So
I'm shooting.
we'll narrate it a little bit more.
Oh, here's a question. We're caught
Yeah.
up in this battle.
Yep.
Do I see this giant thing going for Quinlan? Would I be in a position where I can see
You're
that?
up on the hill, so yeah, you'd be able to turn around. You guys are kind of like on this outline ring. These hills kind of ripple in, and you're on the outside, so you're able to see down, and you see that the badger and elk have moved away from the center. They're not kind of focusing anymore. They're making their way towards you guys, but the elk has broken away and seems to be engaged with trying to hit Quinlan.
Well, I think this elk is a great distraction, so I'm going to shoot at it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say if you use your swift actions to move, you'll be within
Okay.
range that it's not going to hurt your
My chance.
your
Yeah.
roll.
Okay. Yeah. I move and then I shoot.
Yep. One
A
success
success.
is not enough to hurt this thing.
Two
Two
successes.
successes is roll as if you got one. Drops the first.
And this does drop me to technically -1.
Okay, and then bump up your fatigue by 1 and roll.
Just 2 damage. Wasn't really super trying to hurt it, just distract it.
Okay, does not hurt it, but
Okay.
it pings off of it.
I got immediate condition psych. Oh, I gain a fatigue.
Nothing happens, but you still get the fatigue. You don't get an additional fatigue, but you still take
Okay.
fatigue.
All right. That's my turn.
Cool. John, Jake, April, what do you guys want to do?
I'll be back.
Yep.
I will. Yeah, I got partway there. Let's try to make his armor just into a swarm of spiders again.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not feared this time, so that's good.
Yeah. Hey, one success.
Yeah, push it.
1
Ow. I'm at
point of
0
physical
on.
damage.
What's that?
Yep.
Yeah,
Up-
but I'm
Up your
out of
fatigue
it.
by 1 and then hit it
Yep.
again. It's Figment again. This
Yeah,
guy is
yep.
real scary.
Yep. I still got a success. I'll take it.
Yeah. I'll say you already did this to his armor once, so his armor that like fell apart and was partially spiders is like now turning into spiders. So you've got this small swarm of spiders, roughly
Okay.
the mass of his armor.
Okay,
behind
cool. That's
Um,
perfect shit for me.
Yeah.
I might
I'll say,
scuttle
what do you
around
want
to a
those
different-
to do? Because we're kind of
Yeah.
throwing through like, what do you want those swarm of spiders to do?
Just bite him.
Those spiders go after to bite them. Jake, April, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna try to command the earth behind the rest of the Inquisitors to sort of dig a trench right behind their feet.
Okay. Do it.
Where's my
Oof.
Two
Hey,
successes.
2 successes. Okay. So you hit the rest of the Inquisitors. They're not quite in like a perfect fashion, perfect line. It's a pretty big spell. So 2 successes is enough. But this is enough to make them kind of stumble, lose their stat. They don't really like fall into a deep trench, but it kind of disrupts the earth enough for them to lose their footing. And the earth's pretty soft. It was weird to manipulate it with this spell. It doesn't kind of, the feedback you get magically doesn't feel quite right. But that happens.
If only I had Foddy as a medium. That might help.
Yeah. Earth still works, but it feels like it's either could, maybe.
If I'd had Body as a medium, I would have commanded it to. I would have invoked it.
Yeah.
Just do what it does
You
and
could.
stuff, only very fast.
Okay. We're just going to roll through. Each of these guys are going to start making attacks.
Oh, what about April?
Oh, April. Sorry. What were you doing?
Is the guy that John's spider armor still?
Yes, he's still up.
Okay,
Yep.
I'll just stab him again.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Wow. Yeah. Roll
Nice.
3d6.
A 3d6.
Yeah, 3d6. Ten damage. That's enough to drop
Okay.
this guy. He's already been injured one other time.
Yay.
So you just hit him right in the neck with this. Actually, I mean, you're gnome, but at least you've got the high ground on him. So arm right into his neck. He starts bleeding out. You withdraw the blade. Surprisingly clean. Like you never even stabbed him. He falls back. John, you feel yourself falling and then
That's
suddenly
fine.
stop.
Yeah.
As the man you're climbing on his leg is now dead.
About right.
Jake and April and Chuck are each going to get attacked. You just this kind of as a swarm through. That's for Chuck. That's for Jake. This is for April. each get 1 success. So you are all going to take. Chuck takes 4 damage. Jake, you take 7. April, you take 2. As arrows are flying, as they start drawing ranged weapons to deal with you guys. Actually, no, they've got little pistols, so they've got their hip pistols. They're firing at you, not arrows. Does that drop any of you into negatives?
Not I.
Loops around. Dan, you're back.
Mhm.
You see the elk charging Quinlan, does a swipe at her, doesn't hurt her. Badger starts kind of circling around to go behind her. Arrow pings off the antlers of the deer, distracting for a little bit. It kind of looks out.
I'm
Quinlan
sure
runs in to make a strike,
they've
gashes
got
one of them.
this.
No, she's kind of in the middle of these two. You're at the obelisk. You've got the bomb planted. You're waiting for this to chisel in a road away.
I
Start
can help it.
hearing music.
No, I don't.
You didn't really notice it first. Pretty faint, but like getting a little bit louder, a little bit louder. It's kind of rhythmic, and it's building off of like this chiseling. All these little lobsters, snails, stations. It's kind of filling your head.
I got a solution for this. I just need to be more obnoxious than it.
Yeah. Roll
And
me a
out of-
charisma saving throw there, Dan.
Oh no.
So just click charisma, and then you've got a cult. So click your context there.
Wow. Wow.
2 6s. You definitely hear the music still, and you hear it compelling you. Open this, but it's not forcing you to do anything. You feel like you have agency on what you want to do. Yeah, you get the feeling that the cocoon is almost open.
So is it time to set up the bomb?
Yep. In the sense if it's lit right now, it's thin enough that it may damage what's inside.
That sounds like the way I want it to be.
It's muted. Yeah.
I feel like there's opportunity for trying to push the boundaries a bit here. And I'm willing to try. And it's more like light it, and then I attack the cocoon instead. Therefore, it's lit, and if I open it up more, it's more likely to explode. And I'm also, if I get tempted by whatever dumb thing I do, not going to not light it still.
Yeah, I'll say if you're making an attack, like you can do the lighting now that you're up there, just as your swift action. So burn 1 swift action to set up this bomb. Not hard. It's fuse. If you want to make a melee strike on this cocoon,
I do.
Absolutely can do so.
I do.
Hey Chuck, you took 4 points of damage earlier, but
No,
you kept your
thanks.
armor.
You did.
I want this to be
Still
as
at
wide
0.
open as it can be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take
Your
one of
successes there.
those, that one, and that first one. I'm gonna turn it into a 5,
It was physical check.
so it should be 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay.
And
Uh,
because this is the end of all things, I'm gonna burn 3 brawn and make them all successes.
okay.
Ooh.
All right. You
We're committing here.
okay? Which direction are you striking the cocoon? Are you going horizontal, trying to open it, or are you coming straight down the middle, trying to crack it open?
I feel like this is a question I'm not qualified to answer. I want to do whatever is going to make the bomb be the most effective.
I feel like
And
you're trying
like
to
not
open
not
it.
visualizing, not being able to visualize it. I don't know how to tell you the answer.
Sure. I'll say with 6 successes, you're able to just slice open the cocoon completely and then have the bomb just like in it as it's going off.
Okay.
Music gets a
Candygram.
lot louder.
I figured it would.
You see, as you slice open this cocoon, the inside of it's a darker reddish kind of color, and it peels open. There's lots of this like sinew and things as the rock breaks apart from your blade. And sitting inside of it is a man that's kind of fused partially to this rock. He's got his arms crossed over himself.
Abraham
Very
Lincoln.
lanky.
Yeah.
He starts to sit up just a bit, especially as you drop the bomb on his lap.
Here you go.
He moves a bit. See his eyes open, and they're just completely bloodshot, but they've got these two intensely black pupils that dart at you. You hear in your head, are you sure you want to do this? As time kind of slows down a bit. The fragments are in the air
Oh no.
slower than they seem like they should be. Like a master swordsman such of yourself, surely could snip that fuse right off.
And that's your first mistake. Clearly, you don't know who you're talking to. You've
Well, all those-
overqualified my skills by a significant margin.
Man, he
Uh-huh.
compels you to make a melee strike, but you burn all of your stuff. So roll that melee strike.
Okay. Do I still have to apply my context to it and everything?
Yeah.
We still have a reroll that you didn't use.
No, I don't want to use it for this.
Okay.
You don't want to succeed on this, probably.
I want to fail on this, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Luckily, he
tells you.
overestimated my abilities.
Yep. So he tells you to put out the fuse with your master strike, and you just kind of lazily, struggishly swing
Oops,
back.
not that
Your
good.
blade is no longer like summoned and kind of sputters out as you weakly swing the other way. And you are sure the fuse is about to go off. You have time to warp your way back, though.
Okay, because teleporting is free.
Yep.
I flip him off. Bye.
You weakly swing your sword at it. Nothing happens. His eyes widen. You teleport backwards. The bomb goes off,
Oh,
shattering all of the rock, crushing the supports that were regrowing on this obelisk because the whole thing just lands, smashing it into the ground more. You see all of this awful like blood and gore kind of spit out of it, and then the obelisk continues to sink its way in the ground, collapsing it slightly around this.
Oh god, it was like a prolapse.
oh no.
Oh my.
As this happens, the ground starts to weaken, rumble. You see the fog start to swirl around this more. It starts to thin at first, but then it's kind of sucking in closer. Some colors returning to the ground. It's getting more browns and less red. You see out as this fog is being brought towards you, some of the trees that were made out of flesh are kind of turning back into wood and things.
Oh.
They're barren. There's no leaves or anything on them, but a lot of the material is returning to its original form.
Did we finally do something good in your universe?
I think we did.
You might have. The badger and the elk tilt their heads up to the sky and just let out these horrible bleeding cries as they start to collapse and sink to the ground. They look incredibly sickly. and start to dissolve. And as the blight begins to dissipate, disperse, you hear the music die out. All the crustaceans instantly just shrivel up and die where they are. Pure hoof prints, or hoof being of hooves, come up. There's a Hugh Donahue is riding into battle, coming up behind you. He's got Deegan and Matthias with him. They're also riding up.
Yay.
They've got a small band of people behind them. They're signaling over to where you guys are. See the ground start to sink in random places as some structural integrity of this entire area is starting to fail as the flesh is healing itself and reverting back. Who's up closest to the wall? It's probably Jake.
Yeah.
Well, I think Jake is closest to the wall. So Hugh Donahue runs up to you, Jake, and puts out an arm to swoop you up on his back. Deegan runs up to April. Matthias runs up to John. See the lady from the library right up to you, Chuck.
What? Why is she here?
She was in on it the whole time.
They all start packing you guys up. They're heading around. Volleys of arrows and gunshots just obliterating the rest of these cultists that are here. Some of them are pleading.
The Inquisitors?
Yeah, cavalry.
Yeah, the Inquisitors.
Okay.
You guys
Good,
are brought
fudge 'em.
back.
Well, really, it's
That's where we'll
cultists within the
cut.
Inquisitors.
Yeah.
You
One and the
guys
same.
removed the blight.
Yay!
And that's how we started a petting zoo with a talking cat.
We did? Oh, the talking cat existed pre-blight
And butter churning.
and butter churning.
Heart-made butter churn.
Oh, you know what?
If
We
this
team up
were a
with those
movie and
candy
it had
shop
after
makers.
credit scenes,
Butterscotch.
some places the camera might go would be the Moon Lotus Leshy lady returning back to the town with the blighted people. Some of their sickness is going away. They're getting some of their features back, but they still kind of look burned. You see Leshy able to live in this area again without being killed just by the proximity of these people.
I was going to say exploded by wandering petting zoo owners. Yeah.
Yeah, you see all of the animals no longer in a massive traveling petting zoo, but they're instead in pens and just kind of free around the town.
Nice.
And you see a crab dragging the collar of Minton off into a deep recess somewhere off where the bases used to be, or the basin used to be.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun.
You see also the you didn't see it, Chuck, but the chiseling and the tool work that you heard in the trench from the crazy guy.
Uh-huh.
He was building an altar to Jasper in the music.
That makes sense.
All of which has exploded as the man
Dynamite Man
killed them both.
Yay. That story wrapped itself up nicely, I guess.
Yeah. Kinda.
Oh yeah.
We have one way
Kind
to
of.
solve all of our problems, and it's very
Dynamite.
effective.
It is
It
a
is.
great way.
I think that's all the loose ends you guys had.
All the ones I remember.
All the important ones, at least.
Yeah. All the ones I can think
Except
of.
that one guy that we sent to go and discover the lies of
They
the
came back.
Inquisitors.
Yeah, he saved us.
That was Matthias and Deegan. They came back to pick you guys
Nice.
up on horses.
Okay. I didn't remember his name.
It's very Lord of the
Fine.
Rings, where Frodo saves the day and everyone else is there to give him a ride home.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's usually
They were all waiting in the minivan for him.
They were
the door
behind the
was even
cultists.
open.
Yeah.
They're following the cultist stuff to get to you guys.
Okay.
Cool.
We
Did
won.
good.
We
Did we do good this
we
time?
did good. We
You
saved
did a
the
good
world.
ending.
I feel like it's important to
Finally.
actually ask that question if we actually did a good thing or not.
Yeah, I think so. Like, you got rid of the blight.
Yeah.
Some people might not be all the way dead, but that's fine.
Yeah.
The important
That's how
things
stories
that-
continue.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did it. Good job, everyone.
You did it. Sorry, I
And
went a
I
little late.
didn't even ruin
Just a
it
little.
at the end, even though I could have.
Yeah. I was planning on compelling you, so it was hilarious that you burnt all of your attributes. So that you did the really bad roll. Dan's bad roll saved the end of the game.
Dan's bad
Yay.
Very cool.
So it's not that we did a good thing; it's that we didn't do a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
For us,
Yeah.
that's yeah.
That's about as good as you can ask from us.
It is.
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah,
we did it.
that's the game. Thanks for playing, everyone.
Cool.
I was actually
Sure.
saving my 1 on the off chance I was successful on that roll.
Oh, yeah.
I would have given myself a 1.
That would have been funny. Yeah, if he had more time to act, you could have made him fail his one of his spells too. But he has like an auto thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Thanks for playing, everyone. That's Anvea. The first campaign in it went a lot longer than I expected, but I think it held up for, I think it was 25 sessions.
That
Something
sounds
like
right.
Yeah.
I aimed for it to be fun for around 12. So it seems like it goes longer than that.
Yeah. It held
Which
up
is
good.
Did.
Yeah.
Got some more tweaks, things. Eventually, we'll be handing it off to other people to run, so it's not just me. We'll see if it's actually good at that point. But that's all there's stuff to do. What other stuff we got going on DOK, Jeff?
Well, why don't we start with every Wednesday? We've got our Dungeon Crawl Classics campaign. We're running Night Below, the Classic 2nd Edition Adventure. That's every Wednesday. But I guess now that Anvea's ended, next week we'll be back with a new campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I'm running it, and this is a return to like the first like official DOK campaign setting. Yeah, so that's what we'll be doing. We're going to be playing in a little smaller scope. We'll be north of the mountain range that was north of Harrowland's Keep. So yeah, there'll be all of us here, and Tyler's going to be joining.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Pretty good.
That's what I got.
Sweet. Anything else?
John has anything
Sure.
else?
Stuff.
Yeah, the Defenders of Cobalt YouTube channel. Usually Tuesdays and Thursdays we have new episodes of our Pathfinder game. But sometimes the life gets busy, so it's okay.
It's a good cover, John. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but we're recording some more already this weekend, so there should be plenty to come. But we're doing the Outlaws of Alkenstar Pathfinder 2nd Edition, Punks in a Powder Keg. Thus far, they have made progress, surprisingly.
Yep. I'm a bird.
It's because we had to bring in Joe and Jake.
Theron.
And Theron, because when it was just April, Maitre, Steven, and I, it was just fucking horny patrol 24/7. Like we didn't get anything done.
No.
There's still time.
I'm a bird that's dead, so I don't have organs. So he's very focused.
Super focused.
He's really
unless
bony.
it's shiny.
He is
And
bony.
he's really focused on the shiny.
Mm-hmm. That's all I got.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Sorry it ran late, but thank you for going through it. We're gonna go to bed. It's late. Thanks for watching.
Mhm.
Bye,
Have a good night.
everyone.
Bye.